Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah,
G'day.
No,
How long is it until there's going to be an Australian accent character
I
in this
mean,
game?
it just happened.
Yeah,
Just
so
happened.
not
I'm
long.
gonna try,
Yeah.
try and
No time at all.
Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness.
Cute. Take a bit of spoopy bits.
How many spoopy
Look how
bits.
spoopy they are. Oh my god.
Very spoopy. Oh my god.
Oh, that's cool.
How's it going, guys?
Thank you.
How are you doing? Have you had a good week? I hope everyone's been well. This is episode
2.
episode 2
Oh boy.
of Housebound Adventuring. Welcome, everybody. In the last session, I introduced you to our wonderful cast playing their new characters. Are you above me? I don't know where I am on the. I haven't looked. I've got the chat open.
We're below in tier. We're your left.
Just cover all bases.
way.
They're this way.
All these people. Why is Randall a question mark? Oh no, well, we did, yeah.
No, it's because
tokens.
he hasn't given me character art, so he's a question mark of what he looks like.
Bastard. You're on Roll20, but she's not a wizard.
Well, she should be.
Listen, I've got enough shit to do other than to look for your character art.
But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the last session where we introduced our new characters. We've got Oro, played by Jenny. We've got Randall, played by Dox, and we've got Nureli, played by Katie. And we are exploring the wonderful area of Cormyr, the Kingdom of Cormyr. Is he a monk or is he a wizard? Randall, the wizard. We're exploring Cormyr. We're starting our adventure in a town called Nesmith, which is just north of Marsemba, northeast of Suzail, which is the capital of Cormyr. Cormyr is well known for its wizards, for its purple dragon knights.
It's Mizzards.
And
it's Wonks.
It's Mizzards.
It's Mizzards.
It's Mizzards, okay. It's Wonks.
Fist wizard.
Wonk is amazing. Fist wizard is definitely accurate. And to the little town of Nesmith, which is well known for generating some very famous adventurers. The very first quest that our adventurers have been set out on was set by the innkeep. Let's move us over here to Nesmith on the map. There you go. The innkeep Gulgar Bronzejaw, who basically said, "Well, lads, remember he's got his jaw. He's got a mechanical contraption here on his jaw that keeps it in place. That he had a family heirloom that he kept in his basement, and some kind of cave-in happened to the wall, and it's been looted. He's lost his family heirloom, which is named lost his stolen family heirloom, which is named the Semwick Stabber. He has, you've gone into the Adventuring League Tavern, as it were, the Adventuring Prep Store of Nesmith, run by Villette and Velethia Revord. And after very quickly being given some contracts, you were basically joined an adventuring company, which in Nesmith is a much easier affair than the rest of Cormyr. So that's something to bear in mind if you guys ever go anywhere other than Nesmith or the immediate vicinity of Nesmith. So the idea is that you guys pay a flat fee to enter. And you then have access to the adventuring board, which is quests and whatnot are put up there by people in the area, and young budding adventurers may pick up these quests and go out and do them. This was the first one that you found, and you have already gone off down into the tunnels that were found underneath the Curled Talon Inn. When you were down there, if we move you back to the map here, you found
darkness.
You found darkness. You guys are currently down here. But as you entered, you realized that this was no tunnel hidden underneath a tavern, but this is actually some kind of sewer system. You found that it was filled with rats, some of which almost consumed a fourth party member. You additionally found a small room that was filled with bones and an unstable ceiling that almost crushed Randall, which hid away a small chest. In this small chest, you found, or rather, your fourth party member found a thieves' kit, a lockpicking toolkit, a couple of coins, and a talisman. A talisman that had the sigil, the house sigil of the Kinshires. An important aspect that we need to reflect upon is that we have our new characters. So, first character on my Zoom call is Docs. Docs' character. You want to introduce your character very briefly?
Well, my character is Randall, who is a monk. He's from a group of monks who collect stories and preserve them.
Excellent. How about Jenny?
My character's Oro. I'm a goblin ranger. She has mentioned that she was the star act in a circus in a town close by.
I like that. She has mentioned. I like. This is
Name
the
drop.
information that you have so far.
Don't know anything yet.
Yeah, I like it. How about Nurli?
Nurli is a resident sorcerer and helpful person with a little bit of maybe imposter syndrome, or just seems to be really nice.
She seems very sweet so far.
She's just
Okay.
happy to be here.
Just happy to be here. We met all of these people in the adventuring guild as we were signing contracts and being whisked away. The fourth member of your party is a halfling named Kat Ye, who is quite clearly a very lovely, preppy girl who is covered in head to toe by pink fluffy clothing and tattoos. Who speaks like this. Unfortunately, it's just, it's a genetic thing. But as you arrived, a very important aspect that we noticed is that the reason that Randall is here is that he has inherited some land. The entire reason that Randall left his monastery, where he was reading and documenting about the lives of historical figures throughout the lands, was because a mysterious letter arrived in his pocket, which basically said, "You have received this because you are the last person in my bloodline that is appropriate to inherit my lands, and hopefully take up the mantle and the responsibilities that come along with it." And what was the name of your supervisor, as it were, at the monastery?
I think it's,
You wrote it in your diary
Kulf.
thing, your journal.
It's Kulf.
Kulf basically
Just couldn't
said,
remember.
"Go, take this, please leave." As
Get
members
out
of your monastery tend to, after a couple of years of studying texts and reading stories and copying books and journals, they tend to leave, don't they, to go and
Yep.
find their own
They tend to go and
stories to write,
collect stories.
which was something that you were very reluctant to do until you found this excuse, and now you're out in the world. So you arrived to Nesmith and explored the brand new land and manor that you had inherited, which you
It's
found
lovely.
to be mostly demolished. And when you introduced yourself to the housekeeper, you met Atticus Kinshire, who is the housekeeper, and his lovely dog, Parsnip, the greyhound.
Wait, his name's Atticus Kinshire.
Yes.
Is he a greyhound? I thought he was a Great Dane.
Oh, Great Dane.
Great Dane Hound.
He's a
Great
great
Dane.
hound.
He's a Great
But
Dane.
also,
He is
I was
a
like, don't take this away from me. I swear he was a Great Dane.
Great-
I love them.
Yes, he is a Great Dane. That's what I meant. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Does that pretty much bring us up to speed for the most part, apart from the very last couple seconds?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, I feel like I had to talk for a lot of that. So, mini summary. Randall's arrived. He's got some land. He's become an adventurer now in order to follow in the footsteps of his ancestor slash family member that he's never met and who is now deceased, which is why he got the letter, because of magical means. We also have our lovely friends here, Oro and Nurali, who have also, for their own reasons, come to the adventuring life. They've picked up their first quest, which is go into spooky hole in my wall, find my stuff that's been nicked.
Wait, I thought we were adventurers.
Huh? What did I say? What did I say?
It doesn't matter.
Man, I don't even know what he said.
Go to the spooky holes in my wall.
You went into the spooky hole in the guy's wall.
Yeah,
he had a hole in his wall.
It was the way you said it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Jenny giggled it.
Yeah.
Wasn't just me.
All right. Jesus. Okay. Would you like to be your own boss and have financial freedom? So yes, you went into this gaping hole that the innkeeper found in his sub basement, where his goodies have been dragged off to. And you were like, okay, well, let's go into this hole. So you went into his hole, and
we just move on from this bit.
Found yourself in a sewer, and unfortunately, you found yourself in a sewer that was filled with, well, sewage that was stationary. It was not flowing anywhere, and rather than wading through 2 feet deep sewage water, you found a plank of wood, made a raft out of it, and then used that to kind of like a gondola.
Hunted our way up.
Go up the sewage pipe. At the top of it, you heard a lovely squelching noise, which I might have a sound for.
Oh, so gross.
Yeah, no.
Do you know what that is?
Not a fan.
It's grapefruit.
Is it grapefruit?
Crunchy grapefruit. But you managed to hear that just in time. Thanks, I hate it. As a gelatinous cube squished itself to the side, in so doing releasing a tide of sewage that came pouring down the canal directly towards you on your small raft. Your raft was knocked aside. You were almost cast off of it, but fortunately you all managed to stay on, including Randall, who managed to kind of deftly surfboard it down the corridor, down the twists and the turns, apart from Cat YE, who was knocked off the side. And at the end of the corridor, you realize as the sewage fills the room, that there is another gelatinous cube at the other end, which is collecting the debris and was waiting to consume you. But at the moment, Kawaii is 3/4 of the way into it. She's not very big. She's quite small. She's cursing and she's shouting and she's just getting sucked into this massive acidic ooze at the end of the pipe.
What does it sound
Before we begin our session for real, after Tom has spoken far too much already, I apologize. Why don't we have a very, very brief moment to reflect upon how our characters are feeling? Let's say, first things, I'd like 2 things from each character. How they're feeling their day has largely gone, right? Not in this instant, but how they're feeling so far, how the adventuring life has gone, how they've met their other team members, what they think of each other, and what's going through their mind in this exact instant where they are currently clinging onto a life raft that is being bombarded by shit.
I mean, up until this moment, I felt pretty great about things. All things considered, they went as planned. Everything worked out. the way it should have. I expected things to be a little dirty, but maybe not this dirty. And, it's been fine. And then now it's more like, I've made a terrible mistake. This is probably, this may not be where I belong. I don't know. We'll see.
How does Nirali feel about our other adventurers so far?
They seem nice.
They seem nice. Okay. Well, and this is very early on in your time knowing them, so a simple statement like "they seem nice" is perfectly acceptable. How about Randall?
Randall. So I think he's a bit like, kind of today's gone extremely fast from like his quiet book life that it was all he knew or most of what he knew, like probably only like 4 hours ago, to now being apparently an adventurer in a party in a sewer, being killed by rats, having things like falling from the ceiling and nearly crushing him, and now surfing sewage. Like, how did we get here? And this is not at all what any of like the books on great adventurers. This is not how they start. Like, nobody starts out their adventuring career going, "Hey, I started and I was nearly killed by a gelatinous cube in a sewer covered in poo."
Not a single one of them? No great adventurers have that as an intro. Okay.
No, because so all the books tend to be written post and then heavily.
Oh yeah,
edited.
they edit this kind of stuff out. Yeah, okay.
That's true.
How about Oro? How's Oro feeling about the day so far?
This isn't exactly what she imagined her first adventure would be like. Being in the sewers and almost in the sewer water is not ideal. But she's fine with doing it. She likes everyone appropriately. Everyone's fine. That kawaii girl seems a little bit like, I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if I cared enough to save her from this gelatinous cube. Given that she
you're not that deep into the sewer. You can go back up and get another adventurer.
Yeah, probably.
Just replace her. Okay, well, with the feelings break that we're done with, I do like a bit of a feelings break. I like to make sure that we're keeping in touch with how our characters are experiencing the situation. You are currently dangling on a raft of your own creation, apart from Randall, who is still surfing it, covered in shit, listening to the cries of Kawaii, who is currently halfway or 3/4 of a way into a gelatinous cube at the end of the corridor. Maybe let's have a look at this rulers-wise. You are about between 30 and 40 to 45 feet away from where she is. And all you can hear is the noise of the
You didn't even need
cube.
a soundboard.
I know, I'm amazing at noises. As she gets oh god, Tom, why? Please stop.
It's the one
It's not
clip
gonna be
that
a long time thing.
just that.
Shall I add that as one of my stream notifications? And all you can hear from the other side of it is currently only her arm is outside of the gelatinous cube, and you can just hear it go.
What do we do?
As she slaps her hand against the gelatinous cube on the outside, trying to save herself.
I mean,
can I fire an arrow at the cube just to see if that does anything?
Yes, but you are currently you're half in the mess. You're
I
in
thought
the
you said we
sewage.
all saved.
Oh, you did all save, and
Yeah.
that stops you from being
Being
cast off of
fully
it
in
completely. But the raft is not staying afloat like this perfectly. Like it's going all over the place. So Randall, having made a critical success on his saving throw, is on top of it, being very dexterous and acrobatic. The rest of you are holding on to it, and to varying degrees, you are kind of off it.
Okay, well, I want to get back on it. Is my
Okay.
first thing.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a skeptical look from Nirali over here.
I was just looking back at the saves, and I thought it was Oro is the one that did really well.
Or was it not? I thought it was Randall.
Well, there were several of them. I don't remember which one was actually for
Yeah,
which.
let's have a look.
I
Let's
know
have a
that I only did it like fall
That's-
because of the the dice that I used.
Yes. So that we had, if we cast our minds back, we also have the additional. Oh no, yeah, we had a dexterity saving throw from each of you. And
Yeah, and then
so we
it
had
was the
two.
very last roll, and I said everyone should use
So-
their 1d6.
Yes.
to try
Okay.
and
So the
add
first one was Oro with a 19 and a Kate Neuralee with an 18. And then we had 12 and a 23. Yes. No, sorry. You're right. It was Oro. It was Oro, not Randall, who saved very well. In which case, Randall is half in.
No.
Oro is surfboarding. In which case, yes, if that's what you want to do, slaps that cube. You can fit at least 3 to 5 adventurers in this bad boy.
Oh no! Eaten by jello mold.
That's extreme. I'm amazing at noises. How is it possible you're still single? I'm not single. And it's specifically because I'm amazing at noises.
That was it.
That was the selling point. So currently, Oro, you're the only person perfectly aboard the raft, the makeshift raft that you have.
Okay.
So if you want to loose an arrow into it,
Yeah,
you're more
yeah.
than welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you for a ranged attack. The armor class is going to be 5, right? It's going to be pretty much impossible for you to miss. But if you get below 5, there's a chance that you might hit what is or
I'm
remains
the killing blow
of
to
Kauai.
Oh no, what do I want to happen more?
Oh my god! First critical roll of today's session. My face I made was also 75 because I only just realized that we were saved but are still in poop. Yes, unfortunately, you are still in poop.
This is still a
The
bit
saving
out.
throw stops you from being completely separated from the rest of the party. You're holding on to it. You're holding on to the raft, but you're still,
We won't be separated from the whole rest of the party because
How
some of the
deep is
parties
it
are
now?
there.
that's true. So it is currently 4 feet deep.
Oh no! We're gonna have to go to clerics after this. Been undiseased.
How tall is Oro, just by any chance?
She tells everyone she's 3.5 foot, but she's actually 3.4 feet.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, is this what they mean by up Shit's Creek?
That's excellent.
And we don't have a paddle.
Just a gondola stick.
Okay, well, you successfully managed to wedge your arrow that you loose through the air directly into the wall of the gelatinous cube. What are you aiming to do when you shoot this arrow into the gelatinous cube? Are you thinking, if this is a monster, I'm gonna kill it? Or
I mean, yeah, she's never seen something like this before. She's like, that doesn't seem good. That other person's gonna die. Should probably shoot that. That seems like the right thing to do.
sure,
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, okay. Well, in which case, feel free to roll damage.
Oh, wait, how do I... Oh, Discord. Wait, how do I roll down? Oh, I have to... Wait. How do I roll
Just
damage?
click where it
click
says
on the
longbow.
Click on the word longbow.
Yeah,
Oh, there's some-
The one in the chat.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, in the chat.
Yeah, the word longbow.
Okay,
yeah,
I
yeah.
clicked the first
Ooh!
Youchies.
Oh my god.
Oh, you critted that too.
Level 2 character.
Oh my god, Oro's a beast.
And
Oh,
you
shit.
critted on your extra bonus damage.
Oh my god!
God,
That is
Oro's the best!
like literally the highest possible amount of damage that you could ever roll at this level. Like,
That is some impressive fucking damage
Oh
for a
my God.
level 2 character. For those of you who are in chat who obviously don't know, we have leveled up.
Mhm.
Because
Does that mean next episode we're going to be level 3 because it will be the 3rd episode?
if we survive, maybe.
that was the original idea. The original idea was that I was going to have you guys leveling up for the first 2 sessions. You would level up every session. However, I think I'm going to spread out level 2 a little bit longer than just 1 session.
No, I want to be level 10 by episode 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you might have to hold off on that one, I'm afraid. Oh my god. Oh no, I pressed. I was using the numpad to go through the monster manual to look at the gelatinous cube, and my soundboard has that bound to number 2. The soundboard for number 1 has this. Oh, it's very quiet. It just says, "I'll kick your ass!" Oh my god. Production value. That's excellent. That is a noise that Tess made when she was spooked in a game. Priceless. Okay. You have successfully wedged your arrow right into the wall of this gelatinous cube. It's going to be one of those games. I'm afraid it is going to be one of those games. I am very much in one of those games mindset today. You have successfully wedged your arrow directly into the side. You can see that the gelatinous cube kind of separates for a second. The arrow pierces in one side, and it makes a decent dent into it. It goes quite far in. It's hard to tell just how thick this is, but it looks like it's gone at least maybe 4 to 5 feet into it, which worries you because that means it's thicker than 5 feet. But it's gone into it to a significant degree, and for a good while, the gelatinous mass fails to reassemble around your arrow, and it's like kind of cleaved in twain like jelly, if you were to like grab jelly and pull it apart. But for a couple seconds later, it kind of reseals itself. At this point, the sewage is starting to settle somewhat, although you are definitely still being pushed against by a slight tide. That slight tide is pushing you towards the gelatinous cube at the end, but you are all in some way holding onto this raft. The raft is wedged against the wall. As you can see, I've angled you that way. So you are wedged and you are not moving, but it is pushing against you.
Are we not in like a turn order right now?
I mean, not as such. The gelatinous cube at the end of the wall is clearly, at least in some way, alive, because it has responded to the fact that it's been hit. But it's not moving in any way. It's not going anyway. It is where it is. And it is currently engulfing and trying to consume Kawaii.
Do I think if I cast a spell at it, if it will affect Kawaii as well?
You think that might depend on the spell?
Chill touch, because it can grab something specific. Would be what I would.
You imagine that probably wouldn't affect Kawaii.
Okay.
Unless you actively went to attack Kawaii. At the moment, she's an arm. And she's a halfling as well, so it's not a very long arm. She's currently getting sucked into this massive green wall.
Yeah, so if it subsides a bit, can I just stand in it, or is it still like a tide?
I mean, it's subsiding as we speak, but there's this very slight tide. It's 4 foot high, remember?
Yeah. Okay. If I'm still holding on, then would I be able to cast something with a somatic component, or do I need to pull myself up to have the other arm free to do that?
At the moment, the tide's not strong enough to stop you from using both hands.
Okay, then I'm going to chill touch.
Because I mean, this isn't complete fluid. This is this is quite thick.
Can you guys hear the fireworks that are happening?
Yeah.
Is that fireworks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought there was my dogs reacting every time. I was like, I think it's me. I think it's me.
Oh my god!
It sounded like a soundboard thing.
Oh my gosh, look how many crits we're rolling today.
Holy
And
shit.
I rolled full damage on one of them.
Holy crap.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Should change to the crit fails to the Crits. Just a quick crit.
I hope I don't have to roll for anything because I'm gonna just.
Oh yeah, we were gonna do crit hit tables this campaign, weren't we?
Oh yeah, I
Ooh.
have one if you want it.
Yes, I was going to use the crit hit table that you linked me.
Okay.
Which I
They better
think
be
I
good.
have.
You better have filled them in
It's
yourself.
really good.
Like,
Yeah.
the
Crit
enemy
hit and
turns
fumble
into
chance.
gold.
So Jenny, if you'd like to roll for Oro.
D100?
Yeah.
Yeah.
30.
30. Okay. You get an extra damage die.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So is that a 1d8?
Mhm.
Yes.
Ouchies.
5.
Oh my gosh, got some good rolls here. Do you want to do one for chill touch as well?
Yes, I would absolutely like to. 77.
77. Oh blimey. Okay. It. Oh my god, double damage. So it says vertigo. Drop all items in hand. Knock back 3 squares. DC 15 dex save or prone, double damage.
Would you say the gelatinous cube's hands is its whole thing?
Does it drop kawaii?
I'm going to say that no, it does not. It's
Okay, that's
difficult to
fair.
drop something that's halfway embedded into you.
But that is 22 damage, though.
True
That is
that.
a lot of damage.
Yeah.
You are doing a lot of damage. So fuck me.
Yeah, go team.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the cubes are immune
Yeah.
to prone. That makes sense.
Just gets
You folks are
squished
going
out
to
with your
die. I'm sorry. Roll 20 is going to get you. So we have currently done, what's that? We've got 19 damage from Oro,
And mine's
plus
necrotic damage.
additional 5. Oh my god. Plus an
And it
additional
can't
what
heal.
from...
Oh, it's 22 total from me, all necrotic.
Oh my god.
And
Oh
it
my
can't
God.
heal, and any attacks it makes against me have disadvantage.
Level,
Okay.
level 2, you're 20.
Level 2 characters, right? My god.
Oh, chill touch. It's chill touch. Normally it doesn't do that much damage.
They are a giant D6 that is trying to eat you. It doesn't matter what. Yeah, no, it's pretty much
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what side it's on. Yeah, no, it's pretty much just at the moment. Fortunately for you, it's not going anywhere. It's at the end of the corridor, and it's quite happy to just sit there consuming kawaii. However, unfortunately, it is getting bombarded to shit. So you can see that it does start to, when it gets hit by the chilling touch, you kind of describe to me how you manifest your spell.
Okay, so
How do you
normally
rope
there would
this-
be
this jelly.
Oh, you made it worse. So normally there would be this like sort of like swirl of wind about her as she's casting spells, and there's like kind of one, but she's so engulfed in literal shit that like it's not really a whole lot of effect. But there's this like silvery and gold. It's like a silvery light with but it's like a dark gold, kind of like a not glitter, but like a sheen to it, like a glow on the outside. And this spectral skeletal hand with like pointed ends just goes like flying over at the thing and like grabs onto it.
I love that. Any other situation, you're like, it grabs onto it, be like, okay, it grabs it by the neck, or it grabs it by the wrist,
jelly.
or it just embeds itself into some jelly. It's just like it's just which is what it's doing. It's just giving it a good old squidge. All right, fantastic. Okie dokie. Well, you can see that as it has taken the damage from the both of you, the piercing of an arrow going straight through it, and the necrotic drain of the chilling. What?
The Silver Tree redeemed D6 bonus for Randall because it's unlikely he'll also crit.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Silver Tree.
Oh, and it doesn't have disadvantage. I misread. That's only if it's undead.
That's
Unless
hilarious.
this counts as undead, by the way.
That's excellent. That's Carl, right? Thank you very much, Carl. Excellent. That is shady. Right, so, but you've noticed that it is moving now. It is not moving towards you, it is moving away. It is moving down the pipe in the opposite direction, and it's taking Kawaii with it.
Well,
It looks like it's trying to withdraw.
can I get back up on the raft?
Yep. I'll take half movement for you to get up on there. We're taking it kind of
Right.
not really in turn order, but you're back on the raft.
Yeah. So how wedged is the raft?
It's wedged enough that the push of the slight tide of movement is kind of pushing it more into place. It's keeping it in place. When the tide dies down, which it is about now, the raft kind of unwedges itself somewhat. However, this is a now very deep, thick ship river.
Mm-hmm.
So moving it's going to be quite difficult.
Well, I'm going to try.
You going to try? Okay, what do you want to do to move it?
Well, I've got my quarterstaff to
Mhm.
wedge either on the walls or on the bottom.
Yep.
Just like...
Sure. So where do you want to go with it?
Towards Kawaii.
Okay, you're gonna go and try and grab
I
Kawaii.
think it's the right thing to do.
Okie dokie. You can see as you get a little bit closer that she's trying to struggle. She is trying to pull herself out. However, she's managed to successfully get only one other. Jenny?
This game's in the chat.
Deep and thick, like my first wife.
I was stuck in that like pose of I can't unsee that.
So you can push, you can try and save her. You can see that she's now got two arms out, but she's not by any means escaped the clutches of the cube. And the kind of the movements that she was making to try and free herself have now ceased.
Well, that can't be good. So
You push yourself forward. You're still going with the quarterstaff to push yourself against, or well, through the shit water and towards the gelatinous cube. Okie dokie. You make a good amount of distance considering you're a fast boy. But you're on a raft full of, well, on a raft of shit. Raft full of shit. On shit. You get
Some people have thrones of lies. We have rafts of shit.
Okay, so if we roll back around, as it were, to Oro, you're now, still balancing on top of the raft. Your friend has now, or your new acquaintance has now pulled himself out of the muck and on top of the board and started to push you towards the gelatinous cube. You've also seen Neurali, from where she is, cast a spell, which you've never seen before, where she has created this ethereal hand that is currently embedded in the gelatinous cube and seems to be like necrotizing the gunk. The ooze is becoming solid in its grasps.
Nice. Could I hit it again with my bow and arrow? Or am I too close?
If that's what you want to do. It's pretty fucking disgusting down here. The air is very thick. It's still very dark. The only light source that you have at the moment is E.T. is Randall, if you recall, has a light spell cast on his finger. So he's currently doing this with his quarterstaff and pushing you along.
Doing so many things at once.
Yeah. But it's lit, so you can see the gelatinous cube. Yeah.
It's lit. Okay.
bruh, it's lit.
Lit.
Okay. Unfortunately, with a roll of 8.
No.
You do not successfully hit the gelatinous cube. It's because the raft is moving. Your low center of gravity
You've
being
got practice with
so short. It's difficult to do. Oh my god, you're using a longbow as well for such a short little gobbo. A longbow.
That's what it
hold it
gave me. I don't know if I
sideways?
should have changed that or not.
I mean, I feel like shortbow would make more sense.
can
I
change
don't
it.
know. I can't remember what the rules are regarding character size.
This is what the character creation thing just gave me.
Yeah.
So.
I remember using the character mancer.
Longbows don't have to be huge. Like I've shot a longbow that's actually only the size of my normal recurve short bow. It's more about the tensile strength, and so it's strength based instead of dex based.
Oh.
So you might have a higher bonus to a short bow.
Wait, so it's small characters can't use heavy weapons. Okay, it's not a heavy weapon, is it? Let's have a look.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weapons. Let's have a look. So it's going to be
Heavy weapons.
longbow. Oh, it is a heavy weapon. Okay,
Uh-oh.
in which case you can't
Well-
use it, unfortunately. We can swap you to a short bow because that was clearly the
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah. Okay.
So a short bow has 1d6 rather than 1d8. But that's fine.
Okay, coming with the archery knowledge. My bow is right there.
No worries. No worries. It's a learning experience for all of us. The Wrath of Shit is the title of the lesser-known sequel to The Grapes of Wrath. This is so many names coming out, so many titles of different films and shit coming from this stream, Jenny. It's mostly from Snorts. Right. Okay. So you loose an arrow from your now suddenly short bow. Ooh.
So much magic happening.
Just the top bit to snap off.
And unfortunately, due to the movement of the raft, you do not successfully hit it. And because the gelatinous cube is now moving as opposed to being stationary as it was before, it is now slowly sliding away. All efforts combined, you have sadly lost an arrow to the shit water, which you can see is now kind of wedged into it. You could probably pick it up on the way past.
Oh yeah.
But if we was to swing by and we were to say it's now maybe, for example, Randall's turn. Oh, were you the first or the last? You were the
No,
last.
I was last. It was
Okay, in which case we'll say it's Neurali's turn.
So I was gonna say, I guess I just don't get a second turn.
We're not really taking it in turn order. As
Yeah,
such. I'm just
exactly.
But we're
So am
doing
I
it in
still
order.
just? I have to like set this somewhere. Am I still just like holding on to the side while he's pushing it? Then
Well, yeah, pretty much. You could
Okay.
take half movement to get up.
yeah, I'll
That's
do
what I
that.
wanted to do.
Even though she's not moving anymore,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna give that another shot. It doesn't have. It's moving away, but doesn't have like cover or anything, right?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna give it another shot. Ooh, it's 20 to hit.
Oh my god, that's a definite hit.
5
Oh my
damage.
Okay.
The difference
Well,
there.
we're still pumping out the damage. This cube that's trying to get away so quickly. You can see as it shifts in the light from Randall's ET finger that there are various items wedged into this gelatinous cube. You can see that there is a ring that kind of glistens in the light of it that kind of shimmers off of it as light catches it. You can see that there is a pot in there. You can see some kitchen utensils
Hold
that
down.
kind of glisten. And as you use your chilled touch, it kind of fossilizes almost some of the gel, and it breaks off in your chill touch hand and falls into the into the shit water as the gelatinous cube is still retreating. You see, for a brief period, the gelatinous cube does not reform to refill that state because it's still suffering from the effects of your spell.
And while this is happening, then I say, "Is this normal for a sewer?"
Don't know. Never been in one. Hope not.
Is that what as you say that chill was?
Yeah.
I love the idea of
She's got a
the
snack in a
goblin.
bag.
I hope this isn't normal for a sewer. So you're surfing away. We now have Randall, who's still trying to direct the raft.
Yep. I'm
Is
gonna-
that your duty at the moment? You're still pushing
yeah,
yourself forward.
as soon as I can get close enough, I'm gonna try and change to like holding the quarterstaff out, and maybe like as like a life raft, like for her to grab.
Oh, I
that
see,
she can
okay.
grab.
Sure. Okay, well, you are now. I mean, how long is this quarterstaff? Do you think it's like?
About 300 meters, I think. So it's like it's maybe like a meter and a half or something.
Right. Okay. Well, you managed to push yourself to a point where if you were to kind of to lean out and hold out the stick, you think you can probably get it close enough for Kawaii to grasp at it. You hold your stick out, and it's difficult because you're not really moving as you are holding it out. Obviously, you're not tiding against the movement of the gelatinous cube. You're not keeping up with it as such. But for a brief moment, your quarterstaff is within reach of Kawaii, but unfortunately her hands are not moving, and she does not make an attempt to reach and grab them.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
Another 15 feet worth of gelatinous cube movement as this massive wall of ooze slowly retreats down the corridor. You going to try and keep up with it still?
What?
Is the sword inside it? I see things in there.
Are you asking me?
No, I'm saying that to them as we're like standing there out of turn order, deciding what to do, kind of.
Well, I think we should probably try and save.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Do it. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, here you go. So I'm saying that you're moving about 15 feet around. That is actually probably very generous considering it's a couple of seconds and you're pushing against a wave of shit whilst you're on a raft.
But it's pushing with me because it's flowing.
It's the wave has pretty much stopped now. It's now you're just on a stagnant pool of sedimental kind of shit. And you're not moving really at a fast enough speed to properly catch up with it, unfortunately. And you see that it kind of starts to. I mean, you still have your ET light, and at one point it starts to illuminate the rest of the tunnel. You can see that the gelatinous cube is now kind of it's getting out of your distance. You're not going to be able to catch up with it.
Is it still 4 feet deep?
Yes.
Is it at a distance that I could still hit it with a bow and arrow? Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
I'd say that you probably have keeping up with Randall keeping up with it. You guys have 2 rounds worth of attacks, ranged attacks, to try and kill it. If you successfully kill it in the next 2 rounds worth of ranged attacks, with Randall keeping up with it, then the gelatinous cube will perish. Otherwise, it will be out of your range.
Okay. No pressure.
Okie
Okay, I rolled a 13 on my short bow.
dokie. That is a hit.
Ooh. 6.
Okie doke.
Would a single target creature spell? I know that she is like partially inside of it. But since Chill Touch didn't affect it, is it safe for me to assume that as long as it's a single target creature spell, like even though it would impact the whole of the creature, it shouldn't hurt her?
It does depend on the spell.
What about Guiding Bolt?
Guiding Bolt,
Like,
you can
what do
probably
I
get
think?
away with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
19.
Okie dokie. Well, roll your damage.
17 radiant damage.
Oh my gosh. Oh
Actual
my
spell.
gosh.
Actual spell.
Actual
And
spell.
also
Every time I've used Guiding Bolt, I have successfully rolled a 9 or something lower than that. It can't shoot around corners. That is okay because we're not shooting around corners yet. Well, that's 1 round. You've got 1 more round.
And the next attack against it has advantage because of Guiding Bolt.
Mm-hmm. Dropping the big spells.
Yeah.
We getting another one, Oro?
Yes.
Do you have anything ranged?
Randall is keeping you
Okay.
Keeping you close enough to make attacks. You get an advantage on that roll, Jenny.
Oh.
Yeah, you might crit.
Do I need to click that again, or?
It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll take the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 7 damage, and 1 more. Do we have any other ranged attacks from Neurali?
I do.
Oh, it's a big spell. You don't want to drop it.
Well, no, I think guiding bolt's probably my biggest one. I'm gonna do it again because we're gonna try to save her. Oh, an 8! No,
That does hit. It does
Oh,
successfully
oh,
hit. It's
oh.
just a big old cube. It doesn't have that much to it.
13 radiant
Oh my
damage.
goodness! And with 13 radiant damage, you do successfully slay the gelatinous cube. You notice that the shimmering coming from Randall's finger at distance that you can see in the distance of the ruins of the gelatinous cube is no longer moving away from you. You can no longer hear the slurping noises I'm not going to remake as you start to move towards it.
Since I'm already like half covered in stuff, I'm just gonna wait. Do I still know if it's only 4 feet deep here?
You haven't tested it as such.
Never mind. Just kidding.
Don't do
I
it.
was gonna like get off and just like sludge my way over, figuring that'd be faster since I already got it on me once. But if I don't actually know how deep it is, then I'm not going to.
Yeah, I mean, you've got an estimate of, considering where the levels were before the water started rising, you estimate it around 4 feet. And that's your best guess.
Yeah, well, I'm about like 5'7", so
That's a lot of shit. Do the noise.
it's not chin deep. If she's 5'7", then 4 feet would be like rib cage, because the foot, well, like yeah, like. Yeah. I mean, it already happened once. I was really worried. So I'm gonna.
Okay, well, thanks to the amazing damage output from both Oro and Neurali, and the incredible feat of managing to keep up with a retreating gelatinous cube across a sea of shit with just a quarterstaff from Randall, you have actually managed to kill a gelatinous cube, which in the annals of low-level monsters is a reasonably terrifying monster, and awards you with a round of applause from the DM. And you find it pretty easy to catch up now if that's what you want to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll leave now. We'll go about it.
Yours is fine.
Do you want to scooch on up there?
Yeah.
Don't want to be on the raft. Good.
Okay. Well, remaining on the raft, you managed to close the distance quite quickly. It is as I described. The gelatinous cube has kind of not quite dissolved, but you see that there are blast marks that have successfully scattered parts of the cube along the wall, across the surface of the water, and there is one part of it that still remains attached to the wall in a state. It's a bit like someone had come in. There's a massive wall of jelly in front of you, and someone's just punched a bunch of holes in it, and then someone's come in with a shotgun and just like shredded it to pieces. Like there's jelly everywhere. It is quite acidic to the nose, which compared to the rest of the smells is a nice respite. You see that there are there's chunks of, like I said, cutlery and kitchen utensils are down here. You can see that there are what appears to be an old sock. There's several pairs of boots in here alone. And very, very dead, you see Kawaii, who has, you can see that her skin has boiled. And she has, she's, you can see that it's still kind of eating away at her flesh as she's residing in the ooze.
Time. She's probably fine.
So it's still acidic enough to be like burning her currently.
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest CPR.
I wouldn't suggest CPR. Yes.
Are these focuses considered magic items for the purpose of damage resistance?
No.
Okay. Do I still see the little ring that was in there?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, heck.
Can I pick up all my arrows that I've put into?
Yes, you can.
Excellent.
9. Oh, wait, I guidance myself.
I guidance myself. You can't say that post roll.
13.
You didn't
I
guidance yourself
forgot
before
I
it.
have, I forgot I have guidance.
Let her have
Guidance yourself
it.
after the
Let
roll.
her have it.
Well, I would have done it anyway because it's a cantrip and it's for free. I can just do it as often as I want. But I
Do you have
forget
a
because I'm thinking of it.
permanent plus 1d4.
Yeah, only the skill checks though. Which remember, I'm not playing a bard, so most of these are
I'm
plus
gonna
zero.
give that to you simply because you're not playing a bard.
You've got to just say that after everything you try to do, Kate. It's like, I'm not playing the bard. I can do this.
I'm not going to get plus 15 to anything ever with this character. There's no expertise, no jack of all trades. I can only guidance anyone in D4. It can only be on
I'll let
the
you have.
check.
I'll let you have this one.
It only made it a 13 anyway. Like
You were very quick with it. You do not successfully manage to find the ring that you saw.
Can someone else have a look? Maybe someone who's better at an intelligence rolls?
Yeah, I did mention there were things in there. I'm trying to like
Not me.
I don't see the other thing that I saw. It looked like a ring maybe, and I'm trying to like reach over to the hands that are sticking out of the jelly and maybe like pull her out a little bit gently. Try to like come on.
Yes, that's what you want to do. Give me a strength check.
Oh.
Guidance yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Strength. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna guidance myself and then strength. That's not bad actually, considering that's a -1, so 12.
Let's just have a look here. Okey-doke. Yes, you do successfully manage to pull her remains out of the gelatinous cube.
Why do you have that look on your face? Is it just her arms that I've got?
No. You
Okay.
do manage to pull her out.
Okay.
You can see as you do pull her out that there are. She is coated in a goo, and her hands aren't gooped as such, but her torso absolutely is. Her head absolutely is, and like the rest of her body is completely green.
I'm not putting it on the raft or anything. I'm just gonna hold it.
I mean, you're currently just holding her arm.
Yeah. I figure if she's
you pull
already
her out,
dead.
just do this.
No. What?
Well, no, because I figure it's on a raft and things will move, so I've just kind of like gently leaned over and have like grabbed both the arms and have like kind of like drug her out, and I imagine that she's in the like river of stuff or whatever. But
she's in the water. We'll refer to it as water from now.
Okay.
I think we all know what it is. In the water.
But can I tell, like, based on looking at her, like dead beyond like any type of
Give
like
me
healing
a medicine
potion?
check.
Okay. I'm gonna guidance myself.
Prepared to hear those words. Many times.
17.
She is dead.
You would have got that at any roll.
Yeah.
Dead.
Unless you roll really badly.
I just wanted
Then
to
you'd
make
be
sure.
certain that she was alive. No, she's dead.
Okay. I'm just gonna like, I've got the arms in my hands, or the hands in my hands, I guess, whatever, and I just look at the two of them and I'm like,
Is this the first time that your character has experienced death? I mean, experienced death makes it sound like you died. Is this the first time that your character has been around
Yes,
death?
my character has never died. I am confident of this.
I think it would be the first time around a death of what would be considered like not a beast. Yeah.
Okay.
So just kind of sitting or standing quietly.
How about Oro and Randall? Is this the first time they've been around death?
No, probably not.
No?
I don't think so. Probably not to this extreme. This is quite of an extreme circumstance of death.
Yes, this is quite an extreme circumstance, but I mean, if she's in the circus, accidents happen, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Not gelatinous cube sewer poo water accident.
Do you want to give us a do you want to give us an example of a death that she might have witnessed? Or
I would imagine that she's seen a lot of like trainees come in to like do like animal taming stuff or whatever, and they've just been like killed immediately. Like them
They've just
not been
been
given
really
the training,
bad.
and them just been terrible and died.
Okay, so Oro has seen people torn to shreds by lions and stuff.
But not melted into green goop.
How about Randall?
I don't think Randall's ever seen someone die.
But he's read about it.
He's read about it. He's read about everything. And he's probably been to like funerals and stuff, but never actually watched someone die.
Okay. So how are we all feeling?
Very mortal.
Very mortal.
Not great.
So in front of you is Neurali holding the arms of Kawaii, resting half in the water.
I think
Now
we.
What'd you say?
Now what?
Now what?
Is there one at the other end too?
Did we see the one at the other end? Because you said that there was one, wasn't there? Okay. So yeah, we saw another one.
And it moved, and that's why all this came.
Yeah.
We should probably try to get out of here.
Is there anything else in that cube?
Give me an
Randall?
investigation check.
Randall?
Randall.
Randall? If
I
you're...
think I was going to use my finger
You're going to use
I
your
think
finger to illuminate it a
to
bit. Sure.
get advantage on
I
my
cast guidance.
investigation roll.
I cast guidance. You don't get advantage from using your light.
Oh, but I can see good.
You can see good, yeah.
Because shine it against metal things.
You've got your D6 as well. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
Ooh, you got your D6 as well. Just a reminder.
Don't know how bad I want this ring. I don't feel like I want it that bad.
I already looked. If I've told him.
Oh
about,
shit!
like-
Wasn't that light from the dead halfling? Yep. Is light
It's
a
not
concentration spell?
No.
Is it not?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
That
in
would,
which
that
case
would literally be
it's
the
still on
shittest
you.
concentration spell ever.
True.
No one would ever use it.
I think it just
I'm
lasts
gonna-
for an hour.
Yeah, I'll rule for this situation that her dying does not dispel the spell. But it doesn't really matter because Neurali can cast it as well.
Yeah, and you have to dismiss it as an action, actually. So,
Wow.
because you can cast it on objects too, so you can literally like walk up to a stone and cast it on it, and then the whole room will be lit, and you can just leave. Like, yeah. Anyway,
That's why nobody uses dancing light for the most part because it is concentration. Ah.
yeah, you can do more with dancing
Oh.
lights, but
Everything's fine.
That's not the face of someone who feels like they're fine.
I just hit my knee onto the table.
Oh, no.
ouch.
Can I have a look for things as well? Just, you know, because
Because everyone else sucks at it.
Sure, but I'll say that you're not looking for the ring because that it will make it a separate check. You know,
But
I
you'll
usually
still
have my
find the
rule
ring.
of I have my rule of 2 people rolling for
Hmm.
one thing, unless I call for it. Okay, 14.
hmm Whilst I was poking around getting my arrows back
cast
out.
guidance.
I was
I've
gonna
got
say I was waiting for
Yeah, me
to
too,
hear
but I don't
just-
want to prompt it.
If you prompt it in character, that is totally passable. For me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you say something like, "Oh hey, Neurali, any chance you could give me a hand with some of that fancy magic of yours?" I'm totally with that. I'm totally with that.
Do I have it
Right.
then? Should I?
Yeah,
Yes, go on then. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like, I've got both the hands, and like when Randall looked, I let go of one hand and I cast it, and I picked that hand back up. And when Oro looked,
So
I
you're
dropped that
currently
hand.
just spreading the deceased
Agreed.
like
Yeah.
group of people.
No, I didn't. I'm just touching the hands, which were clean. They'd stuck out.
Oh yes, no. Well, I mean, she had patted around on the goop to try and save herself a little bit, but they're not fully goopified.
Oh, yeah.
They're
I
damp.
thought that they were clean. Okay.
They're not fully clean. She was trying to.
They're not zestfully clean.
Forgot to toggle that auto guidance.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have successfully rolled what that's at 17.
Mhm.
Okie dokie. So you do find, whilst poking around, you can see that there is quite a lot of change that is kind of floating around in this goopy mess. For the most part, some of it is a little bit too deep for you to access easily, but you do manage to successfully find what looks like 2 gold pieces immediately next to each other, which in itself is quite a good little find. You also find what looks like a saucer, like a plate, that has a crack down one side, but it looks like it was quite a fancy, ornate plate at one point. Plate bowl. Saucers are weird, but it does look like it's damaged.
Okay. Damaged.
For the most part, you can see there are other remnants here. Like I said, there are plenty of boots and utensils and things. So if any of those tickle your fancy.
What about that sock you told me about?
What colour is it?
You can see actually at one point of it, you can see that there is a bone that is sticking out that looks like it might have been someone's femur.
I mean, I'll probably grab anything from it.
Just
Maybe not all the
above.
not all the maybe not the like boots and socks. We'll leave the
Right.
Are
Okay.
the socks in the boots, or are they separate?
They're
very
separate,
important.
unfortunately, and they don't match.
Not worth it.
They don't match.
This is why you can't find matching socks. There is a
They're
jelly or an ooze somewhere that's just like eating your socks.
No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
And your femurs, apparently.
And your femurs, yeah. So I will mention this to you, Jenny. You think that the femur, with a little bit of work, or maybe even not that much work, would be what is equivalent of quite a good druidic focus.
Okay, I'll take it up.
But it would require a little bit of work in order to make it. But it would be free.
We like
A bit
free.
weird.
Yeah.
What?
Bit weird.
Weird.
Yes, your companions may react strangely to that. And it will require a little bit of work, but it will be free. So we've discussed this a little bit before the game started. And I'd be interested to see what other people have to say about it. Because, we've done some Googling, I did some reading, and my choice may be different from what other DMs or other players might have chosen. But Rangers, unlike pretty much every other magic casting class, don't start with a focus in their starting equipment. They start learning spell casting at level 2. And they don't have a particular focus. So, for example, paladins, it makes sense for them to use their spellcasting focus as a holy symbol, right? In the player's handbook, when it describes the kind of magic that rangers learn, they say it's like druids. So you could say that they only use spell component pouches, because that's what they function as. But I've ruled that she could use spell component pouches or a druidic focus, as long as she spends some time to attune to it, as it were. Not officially attuned, but wait, paladins cast spells. This is a smite joke. Well, I'm glad you guys are. Yeah, she's a gobbo. That makes sense. I completely agree with that. So yes, if that's what you would like to use for your spell focus, and you spend a long rest, kind of faffing with it, or a short. I'll say a short rest is fine, but it will be something. When you use a long rest, it will become yours. When you use a short rest, it'll become functional.
Is that the true of all property in the D&D universe? If you spend
What?
one night with it, it becomes yours.
Well, I mean, it was somebody's femur at some point, and then it became this gelatinous cube's femur.
Exactly.
But I mean,
It just
both
wanted
previous
bones. It just wanted to be
both
like everyone else.
both
All
previous
across
owners
Germany.
are now deceased. So
Previous owner of their femur bone.
Two careful owners.
So Jeremy Crawford said that they can only use the trusty component pouch will do the job, but it's pretty much the same. Yeah, no. So I saw that. I did this probably did the same Google as you, but I think he said, yeah, it will do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't. You're not restricted to the component pouch because you don't start with a component pouch, and they're 25 gold. So it's a hefty starting fee for a level 2 character.
Yeah.
So I mean that's because essentially what they've done with Rangers is like you can cast spells at level 2, but
you can't afford them.
You can't cast spells at level 2. You can do it, but you can't afford it. So also it's your game and you do what I think makes sense. I know I've made that ruling. I'm just curious as to what other people think as well. I'm the boss here. But in any case, here you are in the midst of the ruins of a gelatinous cube. You found 2 gold pieces. You found a damaged, quite ornate plate / saucer, and some boots. There are some various bones in here, but the majority of them have been broken down to a level where it's pretty much useless for you. There is half of a sword in there that you can see at the very depths of the cube itself, which has been at one point snapped down the blade, so it's pretty much useless. You can see
Does
that
it have a blue hilt?
It does not have a blue hilt.
Okay.
It is just a very basic sword. And in front of you, still the remains of your former companion.
Literally in front of me as I hold it.
Like a puppet master.
Oh. I think we better try to get out of here before the other one comes.
What about the sword? Right.
I don't know where else it might be. At least we need to get out of this hallway before we're trapped between 2. We can keep looking, and I say we can keep looking, she says, as she's like got the arms of Kawaii in her hands, and she just like looks down and looks at you like we've got to do something with this.
Aura's just picked up that femur bone and is just looking at it like she doesn't know why she feels like she has to take it, but she's just like focused on it and she's not really listening to what anyone else is saying. She's like, I don't get it.
You two see a goblin picking up a bone.
That's not the weirdest thing I've seen today.
Yeah, I think I've got like my attention focused elsewhere right now, and I'm like, I'm sure there's a reason for that. Whatever. Are you pushing us back, Randall?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So you're moving the raft.
I thought you were just sitting there watching us, like as we're like, well, maybe we should leave.
It's just like, now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you doing with Kawaii?
I'm just like trying to hold on to her as we move away. Like I know you talked about like holding her up, but honestly, like me personally, I have an 8 strength. And a halfling would be like 40 pounds. And I know I, as a person, probably have a greater than 8 strength. And I can't just like free arm hold up 40 pounds. So I'm trying to do the best I can to like keep her out of it. But I know that.
It's just quite funny, the idea of you essentially got a gondola going through the sewers, trailing the corpse of a halfling behind you.
Yeah. You're the one who created this image, okay? You did this.
We did this together. Okay.
Yeah.
It's collaborative story making.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, it doesn't take you too long to get around the corner to where you recognize. I can stop saying rules if you like. But you get around the corner, and you can see now that the other gelatinous cube has started to make its way down the corridor. And it is, if we were to move ourselves on the map to make sure that you guys are actually in the relevant proper places, let's delete Kawaii. You guys are down here. Okay. And for some reason, it hasn't given you the relevant site.
Oh, you turned it off at one point.
You turned it down because
because it's smelly and gassy down here, but the gas has dissipated somewhat now because of the whole shifting of gelatinous cubes. I'm
gonna wipe the dampness off of my hand on Kawaii's other sleeve and reach over and recast light on Randall's finger so that it lasts for another hour.
So the gelatinous cube from the other side of the corridor has now reached the corner of this area here. So if I were to move you just a little further, you can actually see that the gelatinous cube has now reached about there. And it is moving towards you.
Excellent news.
You don't have good vision of it, but you can see that there is a greenish wall in that direction, and it wasn't there before.
Do we think we can make it to the staircase before, based on the speed of the other one, do you think we can make it to the staircase before it reaches us?
Randall doesn't think so.
I was gonna say I don't really want to make that call for you.
Well, I mean, would we be able to surmise, I guess is the question. Because I could say, let's go, but I would do it based on, an educated guess.
Randall's like, nah, fuck that. We're going this way.
Okay.
Going what way?
Go deeper.
Going deeper into the sewers.
Yeah.
Do we want to try and kill that cube, though, maybe?
If it's coming at us, we have no other way out. I don't see any other course of action.
It's a sewer. There's got to be another hole. I'm like, way out, right?
Well, yeah, but yeah.
The sewer's just got to go somewhere, and it was flowing this way.
But if that's moving more quickly than us, then we...
You can see now as you're discussing this that the cube at the other end of the wall stops.
Think of it straight.
You gonna try and move it?
Think of it as pushes towards the...
Yeah, let's make a break for it. And then we'll change direction if it starts coming at us again.
Okay. So you make a break for it, pushing yourself along. I mean, are we speedily...
It's as fast as I can.
I cast guidance.
Okay. So the elf can lift 240 pounds or 34,830 tea bags.
In English.
That's a great start.
But how many double-decker buses? I only know double-decker buses.
Oh my god. Right, no. So you actually do manage to make your way to the wall. You manage to make yourself to the staircase without it moving an inch.
Literally jump off onto the stairs and start trying to drag Kawaii behind me. If I can.
Yep. Yeah. What are Randall and Oro doing?
I'm gonna get off this fucking raft.
Yeah.
I'm fed up of being in poo water.
I want to get off the raft,
Okay.
but can I pull the raft towards us so it's back on the stairs?
Yes, you can. Yes,
Alright,
absolutely.
So
you
it
can,
isn't going to
yes.
go back in there, basically.
Mhm.
Did we see anything in that ooze as we got close to it?
In the ooze,
Like stuck in it,
Um,
like there was stuff and stuck in the other one.
with a rush, no. If you spent some time, you probably could have had a bit of an ogle to see if you could find anything within it. But you're going so quickly in a rush to not get caught by it that nothing stood out for you immediately. As you step aside, what do you do?
Well, I set her on the ground first. And God, what do I have on me? Do I have a water skin? Yeah, I'm gonna take. I have 2 water skins out. I think actually, I do. And I'm gonna take water out and start trying to wash myself off because I feel really gross.
Understandably.
But I'm gonna do it like away from the body, like over here somewhere. Probably like
Okay.
right there. Yeah.
What about Randall?
If I see Nearly doing that, probably gonna copy. And at least like
You're also
wash
gonna
it
try.
off like arms.
Yeah. How about Oro? How does Oro feel about being? I mean, actually, Oro's fine. Oro's not at all covered by poop.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm quite smug about no, I'm not. She's not smug about it. She's trying not to be smug. And I'll move up too. But I wanna keep an eye on the stairs. Just
Sure.
for gelatinous sake.
Mm-hmm. So you wash yourselves. You are relatively clean. At least your skin is, your arms and such. The church, the holy symbol of the Church of England is a Bakewell tart.
Actually, I think I have a spare set of clothing. So I'm going to like go around a corner and do like a quick change, so that I'm not, so like I can not be in the poo covered clothing still.
Are you just going to walk away without saying anything, or?
I'm gonna I need to change. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Does Randall not have a spare change of clothes?
Nope.
Randall didn't expect this day to happen.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll like wrap up the top of the cloak and the top of the robes weren't gross, so I'll kind of like roll up the bottoms and like wrap the clean bits around the outside, and so I can put it back into like the very top of the backpack without it touching other stuff, and then like wash my hands off and stuff.
Sure. Okay. Randall happy with his cleaning routine?
Not really, but he can't do much else.
Did you happen to have soap with you, by the way?
I don't think so.
If I saw that, then I would have cut off a bit of the actual soap that I have with me and give it to you. I'm like washing. I can't.
And Oro is watching the corridor. Okay. Well, whilst you're watching the corridor, Oro, you hear the squelching, slopping noise.
Whoa.
Whoa, indeed. Oh, great, there it is.
It's so quiet.
Yeah.
It is quiet, isn't it? Do you want me to turn it up?
No.
It's just a very quiet gelatinous cube.
It's a very quiet.
It's a sneaky job.
As it slowly sneaks up. That's essentially what it does. It sneaks towards you. But what it appears to be trying to do is when it gets to the area where you can just about see it, get to the corner of this wall here. If I were to, I can't grab it. There we go. When it gets to about here, you can see that it retains its shape, and if watching it, you notice that it continues down the corridor. And it appears to be passing by you.
Okay. Is it who?
You go ahead.
Is Randall still next to me, or is he moved somewhere else?
He'd be like near the top of the stairs still.
Okay. Did you see that?
See what?
The cube just went past. It went down the other way.
Nope.
It went down the other way. Okay.
Did it?
Tom doesn't have a jelly token? Tom actually does have a jelly token. I didn't even notice.
Want it to be like a jelly tot. Just a picture of a jelly tot that you had.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, I see. I was really confused at the positioning of it.
I'm trying to get rid of this bunch of lines. There we go. Oh my god. Let me select the line. There we go. That's just... Boop. Boop.
That's a nice noise.
Boop. Should I go back to the slurping noise instead? And it just passes by.
Does that happen before I'm finished or after I'm finished?
Before you're finished.
Okay.
Do I have anything in it?
Did I notice?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Is that dynamic lighting? It is dynamic lighting.
Oh fuck, 8.
You did nothing. Nothing caught your eye. It might have been because you were so distracted by the fact that this quite menacing monster has just slid by you casually.
Not that I noticed. But I also didn't really have time to look. Can I move down here a little bit just to peek around the corner and see if it's gone or if it's still just there?
Yeah, you can keep watching it. And surely it continues to slop down the corridor. What does the cube smell like? Well, previously they couldn't smell anything because the entire corridor is just rammed full of methane gas. But it did at one point when you got down the corpse of the other gelatinous cube, it was very acidic. I probably would have gone with... You said lime. I was literally about to say it would have had quite a limey, citricy smell in the air around it. But it kind of burns the nostrils.
Great.
Methane as opposed to methane.
Well, I'm just continuing watching that corner, I guess.
Okay. Well, you watch it and you see that it basically passes out of view after a while.
You come back, Nurali?
Yeah, I came back around the corner after. I'm assuming it was after this happened.
Really, the Jello cube thing went past. It went past the corridor. It went. I don't.
Did it have the sword in it?
I couldn't see. Could I have had another look whilst I was watching it go out of my view?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll give you one more shot.
Was it investigate? No, perception.
Mm-hmm.
11.
You did not see a sword in it. You did see that there were a couple of other items, none of which kind of were easy to identify. You could see that there was a large disc in there that might have been some kind of shield. You could see a lot more socks. This one had a lot more socks in. A couple of various skeletal remains. This one had at least one pair that matched.
Yeah, but did it match from the other cube as well?
But the debris that you saw in there mostly seemed like it dissolved to a point where it was hard to identify properly.
Right. Okay.
No swords in there.
Same. No, I didn't see a sword. What are we gonna do about nods over to Kawaii's body that's over there?
I don't really know.
What do you normally do?
Feed it to the lions. Probably not going to work here.
Feel free to ask questions about each other's backstories, by the way.
Yeah.
You have to assume that your characters know nothing about each other, even if
Oh
you've
no,
heard
no, no. Yeah.
it in the Overlord, in the enemy game.
Normally eaten by lions.
That's what happened in the circus.
In the circus, right. Okay.
Yeah. Don't you recognize me? No? That's fine. That's fine. I'm not saying you should. I was just.
I don't get out much.
I've never been to a circus.
It's
Do I even know what a circus is?
Oh,
You've heard the term used, but
Okay.
only in a derogatory sense.
Okay.
Like, this is a fucking circus kind of thing.
Yeah.
a common term that everyone's. I was like, how does he
Do you
mean
not
it in a
no one else
derogatory
understand
way?
what I
don't
mean by
get
that?
it.
Yeah, no.
No, I get it. No, I get it. But when
Okay.
you said derogatory way, I was like, how is that used? Then you used it, and I was like, who says that?
This is like
Well, I mean-
circus.
I hear that a lot, but usually it's people talking about our government. So
Well,
No, it makes sense.
we go through Brexit, so I can relate to that.
I suppose we should let the Adventurers Guild know, or the sisters.
I mean, it must happen a lot, so surely they'll know what to do.
Hopefully.
I don't think we should necessarily drag her back through the streets, though. Might be best to leave her in here somewhere. Also, we'd have to exit through the cellars of the innkeep, and I don't think he would appreciate that very much.
I don't think he's going to appreciate it, given how covered in excrement we are, but...
Oh, I feel a lot better, actually, but...
Yeah, and I'm fine.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm living in the sewers then.
If you want, we could go out. Do you have any spare clothing? I could go get it for you and bring it back to you.
Nope. I didn't bring any.
You just got that cloth, was it?
Yeah.
Not bad. Like...
I didn't need another one. I've got this one.
What are vestments? That's like religious clothing, right? Like a plain robe.
Mhm.
I'll open up my backpack satchel thing and I'll pull out another like robe-esque type. Like almost rough spun, the same sort of like grayish fabric. Like basically when she went and changed, she put on like what essentially looks like exactly the same robes she had on before. Like maybe slight variations in like texture of the fabric. They look like finely crafted in the sense of like well made, but like very similar. And so she pulls out something that's like similar in structure, but very like ambiguously made. It's like one of like square plain robes sort of thing. And she's like, would you, this is clean at least.
Well, thank you. I will, if I may.
Of course.
And then I can go around the corner.
And I'll go down here.
Look away.
I do not have prestidigitation. I'm not playing a bard. To recap.
Okay.
Right. You gonna make any alterations to the robe at all, or are you just gonna throw it on?
It's not mine. I'm just going to put it on.
All right. Okay. How do you feel wearing the vestments? Is the vestments that you gave him, right?
Yeah, they're like very plain, squarish, flared robes. They're like a grayish color, and they're a little like moons embroidered, like half crescent moons. It's like the full moon cycle is embroidered around the edge of the sleeve.
Cool.
Okay.
I think it probably feels pretty weird because I've been wearing the same, not necessarily the exact same ones, but like the same style and make for a long period of time, to the point where it's got that like where you stop feeling something like pressing against you because you're just like completely used to it. So now it just feels like I feel like I'm wearing something now, whereas before it was just like
It was just a part of you. Now yeah, you feel it. Okay.
It's like,
Well-
it so makes it all like itchy.
You see that he returns to you wearing the vestments.
Flaunt.
Right. And you are gathered once again.
So what do we want to do?
You're muted.
Weird.
No, I'm not. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I was just speaking really quietly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me just face this right at me. I think we should go back and tell the sisters what's happened and ask them what to do.
Okay.
What are we going to tell? What's his face? Brass Draw.
I think his sword is under a boulder.
More than I got.
Yeah. More than I got.
The only person we found down here was crushed under a boulder, and that room's unsafe for us to try to move it. So I think we tell him we found it, and most likely it's there, but it's unsafe to move that. Not that we found it, that we found what most likely is.
Can everyone give me a perception check, please?
I'm gonna guidance myself. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Ooh, 19.
Ooh.
You gonna go?
Right.
No.
Okay. Well, you continue with your discussions, and I'll reveal information to you when I feel fit.
Mine's actually a 13. I rolled
Just
the wrong
plus
thing.
4.
I rolled the wrong thing. I rolled
Oh,
persuasion.
did you? Okay, 13. Okay, all right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I rolled persuasion, which is -1. My perception.
Uh,
is +3.
Which means you actually rolled a 10. So if it's plus 4, it's 14.
No, it's +3.
Oh,
But
I
that's
see, I see.
-1, so I did +1.
Okay.
So you can Oro. And I mean, Oro can sense this because she's right at the edge, kind of around the corner. And Nurali, you can sense this because you rolled very highly. That there is a slight breeze coming from up the tunnel where the gelatinous cube just came from.
Do you guys feel that? There's like a
What, these
breeze
robes?
now. There's a breeze. You know
Does
where
it
the
smell
gelatinous
bad or
came
does it
from? You know,
smell-
to the left?
To the right. Well, from the left, if you were facing down into the corridor,
Yeah.
it's going.
The
it's coming.
east?
Yes, to the east and north.
Is it like fresh air or is it like gross, murky sewage air?
Well, it's fresh air that's going through a sewer, so kind of one and the same.
Fresh.
Well, I mean, I feel like it could get worse, or it could feel like
Okay, well, in
This
which case
isn't
it
that
gets
bad.
it doesn't get worse.
Bye, Pulsar.
See ya, Carl. Pass. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for popping around.
it seems a bit more. It's not as bad as the other smell was, so maybe there's some sort of exit there.
Should we go back in?
Ugh.
Turn around at Randall. Randall?
I just got
How deep is it
clean.
now?
Huh? How deep is it? Has it moved at all from the deepness that we?
It's still like
Yeah.
4 feet deep.
4 feet.
Yeah, if you could estimate that it's maybe gone down to 3 feet.
That's good for me. I'll survive in it. If I fall in its
I
time.
won't drown.
Well, your forehead will.
No! How big do you think Oro's forehead is? It's fine. There
Oh, you're sorry. Yes, it'll be to here.
we go.
And the party decides too.
I like thinking.
The party is thinking. Would you
Can
like a
we-
bio break whilst you think?
Sure.
Sure.
Is that a good
Yeah.
time for a bio break? Yeah.
No, it's not Adam. It's not canon.
Aura has a massive forehead. It's canon.
No,
Did you put it? Did you put the the gobbo drawing?
In Discord, yeah. Well, I think I did. Yeah, I did, yeah.
She's beautiful. I'll copy it into chat whilst you.
Oh, I'm gonna go look.
Will that work? If you're not in, sometimes Discord app links don't work. It worked.
Yeah, it should
It's like I almost want to go and get fishing waders to go back in so that we don't have to deal with being like covered in poop.
Such a good idea.
Right. Bio break.
Okay. Bird.
Bio break.
Oh, hello. I guess I'm the first one back today. Why was Tom awake? Why is Tom awake at weird hours? Because he's on Central Time. We've already discussed this, Adam.
Also,
means you
since
have
I
to
have
make
you here, Tom,
decisions.
thanks for stopping by the stream Friday night. But why were you awake? I don't know if I have an answer for that. I have a bad sleeping pattern. That is why. Stream was fun to watch though. I feel like they could use a be right back soon. They usually come back at different times and chat while the rest are on break. That is exactly right.
It's a 4-hour chair TU stream
That's-
because it's a chair stream.
I feel that in PhD. I mean, I'm getting my sleeping pattern ready for my Texas trip.
Yeah, be right back soon. Signs we've had in the past, and sometimes I've just like forgotten to take them off, or sometimes we just chat for a little bit anyway. So
Yeah.
you will see
It's,
that we're not there. It's fine.
Yeah. You often get that with D&D streams, though, don't you? You get people go off they'll have like a break or whatever, and it'll be like 10, 15 minutes long. Whereas our breaks are usually
Couple
a
minutes.
couple minutes.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah.
got to go to have a pee, refill their drinks and stuff.
We do have a shenanigan break after our bio break. That's true. It's absolutely true.
Most of our games, they're 90% shenanigans. I
Yeah,
need to
I
get
agree
into
with
streaming games. I think it will be fun. Streaming games is fun. Streaming games, I always feel like is it's just you gotta look at it as a way of hanging out with your friends. Basically, it's not so much about like numbers or whatever. It's you want to hang out with your friends. So it's good, but it's also, you gotta break into making sure that your friends know where to find you, when to find you. You gotta make new friends. You know. Ooh. Right, how we doing, team?
Grand. I realised I forgot to tweet. I wrote out the tweet, but forgot to click the tweet
I
button.
also forgot to tweet.
Oh, I tweeted that we were starting.
Oh, thank you.
No worries.
People that I play D&D with haven't been available for a month and a half now, and they just sent a message saying that they can't this weekend, and I'm slowly drying.
That was dying.
Yeah, that is rough. That is rough.
You'll make it, Migu, I promise.
I mean, we had to wait. Well, we had one shots.
Yeah.
We had one shots. We're okay. Docs had to wait. Or have you been playing your Pathfinder game? Is that still on? No. Did you have another D&D game going? See, Docs had to wait for his trip to New York. Oh no, how terrible! No D&D.
I was slowly drying between our last two sessions.
Right. Hope you all got up, had a stretch, got a glass of water, did a bio break or whatever. And let us return to the board game, video game, RPG, whatever.
Oro wanted to suggest whether they should have a look on Kawaii if anything remained on her. Well, she would obviously have a look before asking. If she's in pieces, then obviously not. But
she's not in pieces. No, she's still somewhat bubbling.
Sexy, yeah.
She's she's not looking great.
Has her clothes survived?
Again, so they're surviving, but they need a good clean.
I just want to see if she had anything on her worth taking.
Sure. Interestingly enough, she did have at least one item that's worth taking. You can tell from a brief scan. Would you like to properly give me an investigation check and kind of go over her, or do you want to not poke around her body too much?
I'll do a check because why not? Whilst we're here.
Do you say anything to the rest of us about what you're doing?
Yeah, I would have mentioned.
Then I'll guide you.
Okay.
One.
Imagine just having a friend in your life where every time you're around them, they're just like, oh, boop, and you're like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "Oh, I'm just better at everything when you're around."
But only at one thing at a time.
Yeah, and only very slightly.
Also, I have an exam today. Can you guide it to me?
So exams are one skill check. Can you imagine? Right. Okay. Yes. So investigating her, you can see what you think might be a component satchel.
Ooh.
And it's full of poop. The only component you need.
Oh no!
Surely those are waterproof because you'd need to protect your components.
There are several daggers that she has on the inside of her coat as well, and you can see that she has a jar on the inside of her inside of her coat. As she's kind of laying there, her coat's kind of slid open a little bit, and you can see that she's got some daggers hidden on the side. She has a pouch on her waist that you recognize could perhaps be a component pouch, and she has a not quite opaque, but a jar that is kind of, you can see that there's dirt on the inside of it that is tied to the inside of her coat.
Are all the desiccated hearts gone?
No, they're on the other side.
Oh, okay. I'm just kind of standing and watching. Go ahead.
So she has a jar of dirt, is what you're telling me?
There is a jar that looks like it has dirt in it.
Okay. I'm gonna show the other two this. Do you know what this is?
dirt.
Well, that's what I thought, but is it...
Can I think of any reason why somebody would have a jar of dirt?
You can give me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Would I have heard in any stories about adventurers and jars of dirt, or particularly strange adventurers?
Also, I'm
You
going to
give
guide
me
you
a
some
history check.
stuff. Ooh,
Do I get advantage on my history check?
19.
No, not in this
Oh.
situation. If it was about a person, yes, but if it's about a jar of dirt in any story you've ever heard ever, no, you do not get advantage
Oh my
on
God,
that.
encyclopedia.
I wish that I could just start a character and be like, yes, I have read every book ever. I know everything about everything. Also,
I
I'm
have
level
perfect
1.
memory. I've read all the books in the universe.
It's a really hard switch going from level like 17 to level 1. We can't know anything. We can't do anything.
Okay, so Nurali, you deduce that it might be some kind of component for a spell, or it could be an arcane focus. Randall, you have also deduced a similar thing. You've heard about warlocks who have had strange components that they've used and hidden away in jars that they've kept on their person. And some of them have been strange, like some of them had a dung beetle. Was their arcane focus a dried up dung beetle? And that kind of thing. It's a bit weird, but that's the best guess you've got. The only way that you would notice is by popping it open. As a brief break from our game,
Yeah.
this is going to be especially confusing for the YouTubers who are watching this video in hindsight and cannot read the Twitch chat.
Yep.
Adam has just said, "We found a meat jar in a field. It was just a mason jar full of meat in the forest." What the fuck?
And I thought he was talking about a D&D game, and I'm like, oh, so did you ever find out why? And then he had to explain to the person who still couldn't quite fathom that this was real life, but that's something that just actually happened.
I told
And
my
I'm
students to leave it alone and not to open it because Lord knows how long it was out there. That is fucking bizarre.
The most upsetting part of this story is someone lost their meat jar.
It was probably, oh, and they were raw bits of meat. What the? That is evidence of a crime. You've witnessed evidence of a crime. Like, you need to go tell somebody about this. I hope you marked it on a map.
That is
The worst
bizarre.
geocache ever.
Oh my god.
You go geocaching and you find like, oh, a new pair of shoelaces. Oh God, what? Is this a chicken breast?
Oh,
Students
Oh
put
my
it into their
God.
lab reports.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Shenanigan break over.
Yes, there it was.
That was it. On form. Jenny has a very good serious face. Also,
She's
the
very
serious
serious.
face gesture that you do. It's very good.
Take it away. It's
13.
fun.
What's the reverse serious face gesture you do?
It doesn't exist.
Oh. Oh my god, Katie. It's like a switch. It's madness. Okay. As human evidence influencing the landscape. Oh my god. Sorry.
you said the shenanigans break was over.
Shenanigans over. Shenanigans
It's
over.
leaking
Shenanigans
out.
over. Shenanigans over.
Leaking out.
Right. Yes. You've slain some ooze cubes.
I'm looking at the jar of dirt.
Are you?
Asked about the
gonna-
jar of dirt.
Yes, you did ask about the jar of dirt.
Anyone know
That
about
was your.
the jar?
It could be a focus or a component for a spell.
Okay. Well, I've seen a jar of meat before, so this is less worrying. I'll keep it.
I once put a jar of meat in a field.
Who's tube?
Videos for cubes.
So what are you doing with the jar?
I'm gonna take it because why not at this point? Everything's a mystery. I don't know what anything
Yeah,
is.
that's true. Yeah.
Uh,
Why not at this point? It's
yeah.
every level 1 character.
what's
Or
that
level
dagger
2
like?
character. There are 3 daggers.
3.
We only
There
have
are
2
3
hands,
daggers.
I have 2.
probably.
Probably. I don't know what goblin anatomy is like.
Are they in fine condition? Or
They are in fine condition, yes. I mean, they're covered in goop, but you could clean that off.
maybe that would help me in future. Like poison, but goop.
I mean, picking up the items from her clothing and from her body, picking up like the ooze has a tingle to it. It's a bit like
Ooh, tingle
what I imagine licking a battery is like. I've never licked a battery because that sounds like a really fucking stupid thing to do. I don't know why anyone's ever done it.
Please don't like a battery.
Actually, so there are little poisonous like caterpillar things, poisonous, not venomous. And if you touch them, it makes your skin tingle. Have you ever? Okay, so there's these really fluffy black caterpillars, and there was one dead in a kitchen in a house I lived in at one point during my university years, and I went to pick it up to throw it away, and my hand started instantly tingling, and I dropped it and had to pick it up with like gloves and throw it away. So,
Yeah, it's a weird thing to have picked up without gloves in the first place, but okay.
just a caterpillar.
I wouldn't have.
Yeah, but everything tries to kill you in Texas.
Yeah, so if I don't return from Texas, it's because I
Picked up a
picked up
caterpillar.
a caterpillar and it murdered me dead.
We were having a conversation about what was shocking to Docs when he came to Texas, and he was like, "There were just guns everywhere," and I was like, "Yeah, well, yeah, it's a cultural thing, you know." And we were talking about like rifles. He's like, "Yeah, people might have rifles," and I was like, "Oh, it makes sense, you know," because it was like ranchers or farmers might have rifles, and I was like, "Yeah, it makes sense. You have to protect your livestock." He was like, "No, for rabbits." I was like, I forget that there are places in the world where there aren't just like bobcats in a city or like adjacent to cities because we have undeveloped land immediately adjacent to cities. And I'm like, no, it could have been like the coyotes. It could have been a bobcat. There are wild boars in Texas that can like gore your car and rip it open. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
there are no boars where we are at.
I was
don't have
talking
boards.
to Total Cutie, who's a member of Tessa's Discord and stream chat, and he lives in Texas, and he sent me a news clip of the was it a hurricane or tornado or something that came through.
And then we get both. So
and I was like, I'm going to die, and he was like, no, we'll go watch it. It'll be fun. I'm like, no, I'm going to die.
So there was actually a tornado like last week that I didn't
The
even know.
caterpillar had a gun. So America.
No, there was literally a tornado last week that passed like right by where I lived, and I didn't even know because the actual hook that hadn't formed yet that starts off the tornadoes, but it was like starting to swirl, and somebody messaged me and was like, maybe take cover, there's a warning. But we were fine, and it like hit a couple of towns over, and like it was mostly residential though, no deaths reported. That's good, but the power was out for a while in a big city.
So if I don't return from America after my trip,
no.
I leave on Tuesday. It's been a pleasure.
But tornado season's pretty much over now. You're good. This is why I told you not to come during the summer or like the spring, because first of all, it'd be too hot and you'd melt, and second of all, it's kind of dangerous to live here.
Hey, Total Cutie's here in the chat. I was just talking about you. Remember, I'm always listening.
Anyway, yeah.
Hi, KCH. There are coyotes in NYC. Have you seen Monty Python? And English rabbits are fucking crazy. The environment/wildlife doesn't kill you, Tom. The delicious food and portion sizes might. That is definitely a risk for me. I've recently there's a burrito place that opened up the road recently, and I've noticed that I've put on a little bit. Because I've been going there so frequently. So I'm gonna go to Texas. I'm gonna gorge myself, and then I'm come back and it'll be a little bit better.
A little bit better.
No,
A little bit better. But
We're
but I'm
really good at food. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna go to Texas and not eat. Like, I'm not gonna go there and be like, I'm gonna be healthy. Fuck that. I'm gonna gorge myself. I'm gonna
do it.
just go overboard, and then return and eat only salad.
You say that, but the problem is after you've eaten that much for like a longer period of time, there's like this like cool down period where you're just like, I'm really hungry. Permanently.
I want to try. I know it's kind of stupid, but I do want to try an American McDonald's just because I want to compare it to what
It
we
is
have.
different. I want you to do it, and I want you to have a Big Mac, and I want you to tell me what you think.
I'll tell you anything.
We'll pick one up on, like, when I come get you from the airport. We'll stop on the way home and get McDonald's. You can immediately make a report.
Excellent. I'll let you know, docs. Right. Okay. Sorry. Big distraction break.
Yes.
So, are you stealing items from the corpse of your previous comrade?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
It's not stealing.
Yeah, it doesn't. They don't exist anymore. It's just acquiring things that were once theirs.
You have to spend a whole day with it, remember?
It's recycling. Yeah, just have to spend a day with it.
You have to spend a long rest with something before it becomes yours.
There's stealing up until that point, then it's yours.
You can't take it with you. This is what someone should want when they pass, for their earthly possessions to do good for someone else.
Right. And from what you knew of Kawaii, that's exactly what she wanted.
Mhm.
I figure this is more like an atonement thing, probably. Or like,
Sure. All right.
Forceful
Okay.
atonement.
We're forcing atonement on you. It's inheriting, repurposing.
yeah. And as Oro is like taking the last few things, I'm definitely already like edging my way. Like, all right, so time to go, right? Like, we're just gonna.
So you've pilfered a components pouch.
Cool.
After looking through it, you realize that it does have some components for magical spells, which you can now use as an arcane focus if you choose.
Oh yeah.
And they are worth 25 gold pieces at retail price.
Ching, ching, ching.
Bearing in
If I
mind,
sell it on eBay.
you do have that bone, the femur that you took, that you could probably use as a focus if you wanted, and that was free.
And it wasn't worth 25 gold.
Yeah.
You could
Turns
sell
out-
on the component pouch
People walk around with them all the time. You can just get them for free.
with femurs.
Yeah.
Gently
Two,
used.
2 for 1 offer most of the time.
I do quite like the idea of your ranger having a femur wand. Although that would be, you couldn't really dual wield
No.
daggers, and I think
Femur.
to cast spells you need a free hand. Anyone see that Bo Burnham sketch where he's like, he gets glitter from his pocket and he says this?
Probably.
But yes, so you've managed to pilfer a components pouch. Do you want, how many of the daggers do you want? There are 3 on her.
Oh, if I can take all of them, I'm taking all of
You
them.
can take all 3 daggers if you want to take all 3 daggers. And you've managed to find a small pouch of her money as well. And you found that she had 1 gold piece and several copper pieces.
Okay. Cool. Taking all that. I look around. Does anyone want any of this? No?
Well, we should probably find out if there's something specific that has to be done with it. I don't know what the contract specifies for after death. It didn't really make sense to me.
Okay.
Or the warcast of it, yes. But as a level 2 ranger who is a goblin, she does not have that yet. So you've heard this, or you felt this breeze from the tunnel, and you have the corpse of your comrade. You've now pilfered all of her previous belongings. The now completely unowned items have now been re-owned to you. What's the plan here, team?
I had
A
suggested
small
that-
diary entry with the entry, I met a small group of people today. I love them all, and I am glad I have such amazing friends.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I had suggested that we go talk to the guild owners, not only to see what to do about this, but also I plan on asking if they know what the sewer system looks like for the city. So I know you've asked us a couple times, and I think I've suggested that every time. So in an effort to not have to RP it again, just like that's what she has suggested.
Oh, see, okay,
but
sure.
we don't have to do that necessarily. It's more just that's what she said.
Well, I'm not super keen on getting back in the sewer, especially now that I have clean clothes.
We can
I
go up
feel-
and ask.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. That's the plan. In which case, you. Oh, hey, Freaky, I didn't see you there. How's it going, buddy? Who writes your campaigns? This is all me, baby.
Can't you tell?
You walk back over the rat traps through the squeaking
I forgot about the rat trap.
of the hallway.
I did not forget about the rat traps.
You managed to pace over them very easily without any problems. The rats don't appear to be in anywhere in sight, though you can still hear them. And you are very quickly back in the basement of the tavern. Once again, in the cellar of the Curled Talon Inn, with Golgar Bronzejaw residing.
Where is the tavern on this map?
It is here.
Okay. Which way were we facing when we went into the... which side of the hole that we went through on the under basement?
Oh, God. You think that the sewer system likely lines up where you were with this river at some point.
Right.
Or perhaps some of the undercurrents.
Before we head to the store, I want to make a pit stop in the inn and ask if they provide laundering services.
You kind of go up to the front bar as you usually do. All right, love, you smell. You done my quest? You found my sword?
No, apparently that hole in the wall led directly into a sewer, and there's a lot to it, and we haven't found the sword, but it might be crushed under a boulder. There seems to have been a person that was down there, and there's a very unstable room.
What?
It's a lot.
In a sewer? What's a sewer system doing here? I have an outhouse like everyone else.
Maybe it's very old. Do you know if sewers often include these jelly-like creatures?
I mean, I'll serve jelly.
Never mind.
Do you want some jelly? You have to pay for it.
No, I would definitely like to have some clothes washed, though, unless I can just do that on my own.
Well, there's a river.
Does everybody wash the clothes in the river?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is what everyone else does. Is that what you're going to do? All right, then. Well, I'd appreciate if you didn't just walk in and out of my cellar. So if you want to go back and have another bash at doing the quest you're supposed to do for me,
We will.
give me a bell.
Hey, Adam, I have a question out of curiosity. Have you always used the outhouse? For all you've been here? Okay. Right. Well, there's a sewer system down there. I just wondered how long it hadn't been in use for,
I was just wondering why you asked about my shitting habits.
Well, I'm not asking about your habits.
Well, it sounds like you're
I
asking
asked
about
if that's all you used.
Yeah.
Not how often or when.
You want to know how often and how when I poo?
No. Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're trying to help.
Fucking weirdos.
I don't.
Fucking weirdos, these adventurers. You just hear
I
him
think he
talking.
poops a lot.
I just don't think you need to be unkind about it. We're trying to help. It's just was very straightforward.
Are you talking to Golgar at this point? Okay. Listen, sweetheart, you are clearly very young and new to the world. So for that, I will be very kind to you. Please go away. Please.
And I like shaking my head, and I'm not like saying no, but just like in a disappointed way, or like a I don't understand this kind of like, and I'm gonna leave. But
Okay. Is Randall?
Later.
Bye. Randall's following Oro. Have we created a wheel of accents for this innkeeper when his jaw pops out? His accent is basically my jaw goes forward, and then whatever comes out my mouth is his voice. This is DM voice acting 101, which I should not be teaching because I'm not very good at voice acting for DM and D&D. But if you want to do different voices, there are a couple of different things you can change. How quickly the person speaks, like how high their voice is, and the facial features that accompany that. That's you can make characters out of those. So if you're struggling to come up with stuff and you're not very good with accents, you can kind of do those. Barkeep reminds me of Alfie Solomons as portrayed by Tom Hardy in Peaky Blinders. I have not watched Peaky Blinders, but that's based on the town that I live in, or the city I live in. And they had a big Peaky Blinders festival when Hazo, Roxy, and Beth were here, and they were all like dressed up in Peaky Blinders stuff.
that's cute.
It was weird. it was like the most accessible cosplay ever because it was very easy to get the costumes for it, and like loads of just a bunch of normies was strolling up in their Peaky Blinder costumes. That was amazing. Flat cap done. Hey, Hazo.
Well, every time you mention someone they pop up in chat.
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? I'm just talking about QT, and then QT's there, and I'm talking about Hazo, and Hazo's there. Just dressed in 20s and 30s suits and dresses. I mean, it was just the whole flat cap and suit thing going on. That's what we're doing. Anyway, Randall, what's he doing?
Just following out.
Yep, following out. Okay, no worries. Well, in which case you managed to find your way outside of the town. Outside of the town, outside the tavern. Something you didn't notice today, or something you didn't notice the last time, is that on the other side of this village, just outside of the market building, which is this building here, and you can tell that it's the market building because there is a sign directly outside that says Market Square.
Market Square.
It's like a
square building.
Well, that is somewhat deceptive. That's an open air building.
Oh.
So it's a square, but you haven't. I mean, Neurally, you were here for a day or so before, weren't you? So you've had a chance to explore a little bit. The Market Square, as you know it, unlike the other guys here, we haven't really discussed Oro's time here, is like I said, an open air building with market stalls around the inside of a square, with one or two buildings that are more long-term stalls that are like kind of built into the building itself.
It's like an Acropolis.
It's exactly like that, perhaps. I would know if I knew what that was. But that's what it's like. But you notice that there is someone begging outside of there that you didn't see before. There is a quite young elf girl who is kneeling on the ground, and she has a bowl in front of her, and she's begging. You did not see her there yesterday.
You said
across
she's
the
really
way,
young?
she's young. Yeah, she's a young elf girl. Across the way is obviously the adventuring prep store. If that's where you wanted to go, it was very close. It's all Greek to me. I get it. Sorry. Across the way is the adventuring prep store, and you're welcome to tell me where you would like to go.
Yeah, I don't know if I would even understand what to do with her. So I think I'm just going to continue. If everyone's still heading to the store, I'm just going to follow, or the adventuring guild and adventuring store thingy. That's where I'd be heading.
Sure.
It's also an agora, not an necropolis. Sorry, my bad. Anyway, continue.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, there's a lot of architecture words that I'm not familiar with. In any case, you make yourself known at the entrance of the adventuring prep store of Nesmith by opening the front door. You hear a dingling of a little bell going off, and you find yourself once again in the front hall. This time, you can see that they are once again in the middle of interviews, because sat at the chairs in front of you are some more individuals who look very prepared to be adventurers. One of whom has a long black robe and a hood. And you can see that along the inside, he has this big black coat, and on the inside is like a tight waistcoat that's got daggers along the inside. That's where people like to hold their daggers, apparently. You can see that there is a very stereotypical wizard who is in a completely blue robe with a big, long blue wizard hat that has yellow stars all over his attire. And you can see that there is also a very buff gentleman who is absolutely ripped, wearing very little clothing, apart from a small loincloth and some straps to keep their weapons in place, along with their sheaths, who's just sat there 2 times bigger than the seat itself, just waiting patiently, reading the contract that they were given. So you march in, and you see that the quest board is still empty after you took the last quest on there. And Villette pokes her head out, and she sees that you're at the door when she's about to call in one of the other adventurers. What can I do for you? Aren't you on a quest or something? Are you done already?
Well, we've run into some complications, but also we had a question about what to do.
Ah, Jesus. Go on then. Is there something you can, for everybody, or do you need to talk to us privately?
I don't know if that matters.
Well, go on then. What is it?
So we found a sewer system under the city, which no one seems to know about.
That's a lot of stuff in less than one sentence. First off, sewer system. What? Second off, city? What?
Town.
Third off, no one knows about it. Let's condense that down. Right. Start off with the first thing. Sewer system. Where?
It was accidentally connected to the innkeep cellar.
All right. So you were doing a quest underneath the tavern. There's a sewer down there. You found a sewer that none of the houses around here use. Weird. All right. Go on.
And there was this jelly thing inside, and it dissolved the person that came with us a bit. And we're not sure what to do because we couldn't save her. And I didn't understand the contract well enough to know if I'm supposed to let you know.
Oh, shit. All right. When you say dissolved a little bit.
Like a lot.
Like a lot. Are we talking like dead? All right. Well, do you have her with you?
No, I didn't want to just carry her through town. I mean, she's...
Ah, Jesus. Could you come with me, please? You guys come in here, and we'll have a little chat, and I'll talk to these guys about it afterwards. Because you can clearly see that the other adventurers on the other side of the room have just like... In fact, you can see that the extremely buff person has put down the contract and is starting to leave. And she goes, fuck's sake. Just come on in here. On in here. And you are invited back into the room with Villette and Vilithia, and they sit you down and says, right, well, as stated in your contracts, we waive all duties when it comes to your life. You know, it's your domain. All right. You can put down next to kin on your contracts, but who is it that died? Oh, it's the little pink one.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Well, no, she's got no next to kin. That's not unfamiliar. Lots of people come here with no next to kin. Got that guy outside. What's his name? Dagger McStabby or something. I don't know. He's got nothing. Dagger McStabby. What's his name? His name's Katana. His name's actually Katana.
Wow.
He's edgy as fuck. I don't get it. We have to put him in a party. No one's going to want to be with him. He's an arsehole. And you realise that the door is still slightly ajar. And he's just sat in the hallway.
He actually starts crying.
He's an arsehole. Nobody wants to do that. No one wants to be around that guy. And she starts speaking loudly when she realizes that the door is open. He's an arsehole! He's not fit for adventuring! And you can hear as he takes a step up and he starts to leave the room. Yeah, fuck off. That's what I thought. Hey, Tess. Thanks for the raid. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
How's it going? There was enough dissolution of the body that permanent life functions could no longer function. Oh, function 2 times in the same sentence. Adam, I expect better from you.
Oh, dang the shade.
Jeez.
Hey, wild librarian.
Hey.
Ranger raid. Is there a second raid? Is that 2 raids at the same time? Come to America and say that to my face. No. Cancelling my trip.
Hey.
Hey, he's scary. Okay?
Adam's
He's a
up.
geologist. He's a geologist.
Once?
He found a meat jar in a field one time.
I know if he was scary, he'd have done something with it, but he just left it there.
Oh my god.
Maybe he
Spooky.
planted it there.
Oh, I've already made it clear that I am the danger. Yes, Tess is the danger. Yes.
No
you have-
forest.
yes.
He says a forest.
Oh, forest. Well, you said a field in the first sentence. Okay. I assumed it was a field in a forest. Okay, because then you later said forest. It's very good. See, this is why, Adam. I expect better.
And the green grass grows all around and around. The green grass grows all around.
That's anyway.
Yeah.
In a field. Oh, as in a field of work. Oh, okay. All right.
Well, in the field, yeah.
Oh, in the field. Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway,
All right. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, no, it's good. Wild librarian, I know you. I swear I've seen you in this stream before.
yeah, I know them. Hello.
No, it was from the one shots on your channel.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if she's been here before, but
No, I remember. Yeah. Sorry. I'm dotting all the lines because it was the one that Tess was in.
I get around, she says.
Yeah, okay, I remember. Yes, because it was the one shot that we played in. It's all lining up. Right. Anyway, so
Okay, I'm done.
He says he's got no next to kin. If we find the bodies are brought back to us, it's in your contract that we pay for a funeral or funerary service. But honestly, people don't tend to bring the bodies back because they tend to be, lost at sea or dismembered or whatever. However, the fact that you've got the body less than 100 feet away from where we are, I'm assuming. If you bring her back, we'll do a funerary service for her if that's what you want to do. Honestly, in this business, people die so frequent. People never die. It's so rare that they die. I'm not used to death at all. This would be a first for us.
Do you have like a coated cloth or something we could cover her in?
You want a cloth?
Is the word tarp appropriate for a D&D setting? I think they have waxed tents and stuff, and so it would be like something like that.
That's not something I have on hand, and it's not in the budget. for me to go and buy one.
I don't know that it would be good for business to just be carrying a half-dissolved halfling covered in excrement through the town either. So is there anything that we could take to wrap her up in? I could wash it out later on.
I don't know if I've got anything lying around. But maybe if you met her. You met Kawaii, didn't you? And she loved shit. She loved it. So maybe if you just leave her to what she loves. If you get my drift.
Shit.
You found her in a sewer. And she really loves shit. I mean, you can bring her back here if you like. We'll give her a funerary service. It's in her contract. She's died. It's very sad. I'm very sorry to hear about the death of Kawaii. So what do you want to do? I've got interviews to do. Well, I've got one interview left.
It's good. We're sabotaging all the other.
We'll go and see what we can do.
All right, well, I'll see you later. I'd really love to hear that you finished your quest, though. Did you do that?
There weren't any swords down there.
You didn't finish your quest, then, is what you're saying.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. You guys are very high maintenance for a new starter, you know that. You're poking around the sewer. What's down there? Rats, probably.
And that
Is that
jelly
it?
thing.
There are rats down there. Rats and
Wait.
jelly.
Mm-hmm. Or
Right,
ooze,
well.
maybe?
And
What?
boulders.
Killer poos.
I said an ooze or an ooze, maybe?
Ooze. All right,
I don't really know
well.
what it was.
Don't know how I heard killer poos, but that sounds more dangerous.
Should have went with that though. That should have just been what she believed for the rest of time. I was like, what the fuck?
Killer poos. Oh my god. Sewer system's got killer poos in it. Is there anything else that I can do to help you with today? You don't think about that sentence too much.
I'm just gonna get up and walk away. Okay, we're done here. Not in a rude way or anything. Just when someone is obviously dismissing you and you just kind of scoot the chair back and start to stand up. That's what
Okay. Okay. How about Oro and Randall?
From in here, I don't know whether I don't know why I'm imagining it like it's a massive window at the front. It's probably not, but I wondered if I could see that elf girl from inside the place.
There's not a massive window, but there is a window at the front.
Mm.
You could have a bit of a peek at her. Yeah.
Is she still just doing?
She's just
normal
there,
legs and
begging
weird?
away.
Yeah. I'm down to leave. I'm pretty much not paying attention anyway.
All right. Okay. Well, where do you want to go?
Want to clean your
Yes.
clothes?
Yes. But also, I think maybe we could see if we could find another way in that from the outside. Since we have to go over by the river anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we saw where that manhole thing was ish. Could maybe try and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll head over in that general direction.
The general direction of where you think the manhole might be.
Yeah, since I don't think that we could know exactly, but retracing steps on above the ground.
Sure. Okay. Well, do you want to give me? Everyone gives me an investigation check, please.
Okay. I'm gonna guidance myself.
Okay.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oof.
One, two.
Okay,
but not
you
that
do
far.
successfully find a manhole cover. It is under a very overgrown bush. Basically, it is between this copse of trees. It is under the it's hidden underneath a bush, but also under kind of some roots of one of the larger trees. It's clearly not been accessed for a very long time, to the degree that this plant has now grown over it in a way that you'll have to kind of cut into it a little bit to get at it. It's an old tree.
It's
You
an
found
old
it.
tree, you said?
Yes, it's an old tree.
Can we tell based on like the rings or whatever how old it is?
Give
Not
me
from the
a
outside.
nature check.
Anyone roll good in nature?
Nope.
Um,
Also, you're gonna have to like cut the tree open in some way to do that.
We'll probably have to like cut the roots back to like push it aside or something, depending upon how much is covered. 17.
10 hours later, after you're done counting all the rings.
Wait, did I miss one?
Roughly. Doesn't have to be an exact. 17 nature check.
Okay. I mean, so you can tell that this is a very old tree. You're guessing at least kind of 100 years.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time in a forest, so I feel like it's pretty like of the things that I would be able to know about
Yeah.
the world around me,
Mhm.
trees are pretty good. So it's how old you say?
At least 100 years.
Okay. And are there any markings on the manhole cover, like the name of a city or literally anything written on it?
It's literally is a disc of stone.
Does it have any markings on it?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
If it did, it was worn away by time.
Damn.
Oh, I cast mending. No, I'm kidding. So based on finding this, would we be able to kind of like retrace the position of the poo hallway?
Retrace the position of the poo hallway.
Above ground, kind of followed around the direction that we didn't go, where there was fresher air.
Let's have a look. See.
Measuring diameter at. Wait, what? Sorry, continue.
Yes. A maintenance hole cover is another way of referring to that item. Oh, that is helpful. No. I mean, you could give it a shot, but I mean, you've got an investigation of 19. I'm going to say that that's going to carry over. You find no other sewer hole or manhole covers, or maintenance hole covers.
I technically had a 20 because I cast guidance on myself and got a 1.
Oh yes, 20. Yes.
If that makes a difference.
I mean, you're a level 2, so these are quite high rolls.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's nothing on ground, at least. I
Yeah.
mean, it's possible that houses have been built over them or whatever.
I feel like, given that nobody knows about this sewer system, that it's been a very, 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 very long time. So wherever that gust of wind is coming from, then it probably ain't somewhere that people go ever.
I might know someone who might know about the sewer.
Who?
So I met a gentleman who's been here for a long time. That remembers some things some other people have forgotten. And he's sort of my butler.
What?
I have a butler.
You have a butler?
And can you see the mansion from here, like on the hill?
Yeah, you're in the main village. Yeah.
And I go like, and sort of that. fat and sore fine.
Then why are you doing this?
Well, if we go there, you'll see there's like it's ruined, and there's like this person died, and apparently I'm their blood relative, and then I've inherited all this stuff, and now I'm
Shit.
covered in shit. And here I am.
Well, you're not covered anymore.
I was covered, and that's good enough for me.
Quite a day.
But yeah, like he remembers lots of, well, no, he forgets lots of stuff, but he also was here, maybe.
Maybe he knows. Okay, well. Sure.
But I need to bring towels. I can't go back without towels.
Oh.
It's like a side quest.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should wash out our clothes really quick, and then we can
He has
go
a
get some
butler. The butler
towels.
can do it.
I mean, you could just leave it with parsnip, and he'd slobber all over it, and then
Parsnip?
oh, the dog is called Parsnip. There's a dog.
That's adorable.
The dog is
Parsnips.
very fucking big compared to you.
Yeah.
You've not seen the dog
But
yet.
I've just heard parsnip
Yeah.
and a dog.
Uh-huh. You know about parsnips. You've had parsnips before. Parsnips are very small for you.
Yeah, small,
Yeah.
cute name.
Also, parsnips are sweet, so I inherently assume that the dog's very sweet.
I love parsnips.
Mostly slobber. The dog is mostly slobber.
Great.
I'm just gonna like head to the lake as we're having this conversation or the river because I want to wash my clothes and stuff.
Sure.
But I'm gonna do the thing where like you like kind of like go out into the thing to wash it, so that I'm also being slightly deodorized as I'm out there.
Sure.
So I'll take the like clean dress that I'm wearing and like tie the skirt up and get out and wash it.
Okay.
With the
All right.
soap.
How about anyone else?
I'm getting all up in the washing business.
What the heck are we doing to a tree where we need to know where its baps are?
We're trying to figure out how old it was.
Tree boobs.
boobs.
Right, so you wade out into the river and start cleaning yourself and your clothes. Okay.
Mhm.
How about
Just the
Oro?
clothing. I'm not like bathing in the river in front of people.
I'm not gonna go in the water, but I'll be nearby.
Okay, doke. All right. Well, takes you a short while, and your clothes are all drenched, but you're clean compared to what you were.
I have two different types of soap, and I offer. Does Randall wash his clothing too?
Yeah.
I have two different types of soap. I have an oatmeal and honey one, and I also have like a honeysuckle one. Which one would you like?
I had to put. I don't mind.
I made them myself.
Cool. And just like literally reach out to eat like one of them at random. Be like, thanks.
Wash your clothes.
It's the weirdest reaction to someone offering you soap I've ever seen. I've got some soap. Do you want some?
Sure.
So you wash your clothes and yourselves a little bit, and the waste of the waist gets off you, and you are clean up to the waist, and you are no longer covered in or smelling like shit, which is really nice. Good on you.
And now we're going back.
And now we're going back.
Well, you have to get towels.
Yeah, I need to get towels. It's my side quest.
Do you want to go to the market?
Seems like the best place.
Surely there'll be towels there. I see no flaw in this plan.
She's played enough D&D. Okay, well, you go to the market square and you see that there are some...
It's only towels.
As far as
there is a sign that just disclaims all of the different resident shops that are in this market square. So there are shops that are kind of built into the building, and then there is a square in the center for more transient passing by traders who might set up stalls there temporarily. As you walk through, you kind of have this this nice corridor that is covered in different flowers and signages for different brands that have decided that they want to start advertising here. Passing through, you can see that the light from the kind of midday sun passes down through the open air building, and it's just really pleasant. You can see that there's a kind of bustling of people here. You can see that some people are buying and trading foods. You can smell the different spices.
You can smell.
You can smell something that isn't shit. And you kind of almost taste on the air chocolate, because there is somebody who is making hot chocolate. And it's so thick and pungent right next to the entrance, the entryway of the market, that you can kind of almost taste it in your mouth. Smart. So the market has cogwood,
I stop and buy hot
flank wheel-
chocolate. I can't. Go ahead.
So the market displays that it has cogwood flank wheel toys, Bill Fitz Storm Kettle's alchemist shop, but with 2 P's and an E. You also have Jordan Fine Whistles, candles and parchments, Trevaine's tossed topiaries and towels, and a number of other miscellaneous market stalls.
Topiaries and towels. I love it.
Well, go straight to that. There, a towel stall.
Straight there to that there towel stall.
There's towels.
Wow.
I'm gonna buy hot chocolate on the way though.
Okay. Well,
Because
hot
you said it's
chocolate
like
is
autumn, right? So it's kind of autumn, right? So it's
yes,
kind of cold
it's the end of
outside.
summer. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's your. Pardon me. It's right there, but the hot chocolate is not it's a delicacy.
Well, I want to go see how much it is then.
Okay, it is £1, 1 gold piece. He said, converting pounds into gold pieces.
I was like, you have to buy a pound of hot chocolate.
I have to go to the shop and transfer some money into dollars tomorrow, and my brain's clearly got in a tizzy.
Love it.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
never
1
mind.
gold piece.
I won't buy hot
It's
chocolate.
pricey. It's pricey.
Okay.
Maples grow relatively quickly, whereas oaks take a bit to grow tall. Oh, okay. Sorry, we're still talking about tree boobs.
Adam is also incredibly, this is why I said Adam instead of Autumn, incredibly versed in being able to tell the ages of trees. So you measure it around chest height, and depending upon the height of the tree and the type of the tree, you can usually make an estimated guess based on its circumference, how old it is. And they grow in different ways, so that helps you understand.
And we're all very slightly more informed.
We're not able to use.
Don't act like that's not interesting though.
No, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's just like here there exists a thing that you can do, but we're not going to tell you how to do it properly because it changes for every single different species. And I'm like, yeah, okay, he could be bullshitting us completely. I completely believe him.
I believe
I'm like,
him too.
yeah, right. Adam's a smart guy. I'd totally fall for that hook, line, and sinker. Can people tell my age by the circumference of my chest?
Yeah.
Pretty sure you can only get hot chocolate for £1 from Asda. What's this, you have a table. Well, I know I'm sure there are tables that exist. I don't personally have it. All right.
Anyway, so we go to the towel maker shop because I've determined that hot chocolate is too expensive for me.
Okay. Well, it smells amazing. Perhaps you've never had chocolate before, but it's a very sweet, deep smell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think I would have had it. It seems really fancy, but it seemed really intriguing.
It seems very fancy. The stall itself is extraordinarily fancy. But you kind of stand there in awe at all of the scents and all of the imagery and just gawp.
Do I see this?
Yes. She's not being in any way subtle about this.
I'm just like, I kind of want to try and use my by popular demand thing again.
Ooh.
I don't know if it gets to a certain point where it's cheeky that I keep using it all the time for free shit.
But then you keep using it.
Plies,
No. embrace the impatient background. This is
Have
the
something.
bread and butter of that. You become famous and you just use it everywhere. That's what you do.
So this is basically this talent is essentially a way for you to gain employment and free food and a place to stay.
Yeah.
The food is attached to the place to stay. You can't just go into marketplaces and be like, food me. But you could go into a tavern or an inn and be like, hey, I'll
Food me and sleep me.
food me and sleep me. Food me and sleep me.
No, I didn't say that
but
weird. It was fine.
Yeah,
But what if-
doing it to going to a market or a restaurant or something would be a bit weird.
But what if it was like, oh, you don't know me, I'm Oro. Oh, you do know me. What if I told everyone this was my favorite hot chocolate shop?
Oh, the
Yeah,
Mass
yeah.
Effect.
I'm Commander
The Mass
Shepard,
Effect,
and this
yeah.
is my favorite
You
shop.
could
of
do
the
that if you
Citadel.
wanted. Yeah.
Along with every other shop on the Citadel.
So I don't know if Jenny's ever played Mass Effect or knows that reference.
No.
But just to clarify, in Mass Effect, there is a big, spaceship kind of place where everybody lives.
Space station.
Space station, and as the main character, you're very famous and well loved by everybody. And your character basically goes up to these shops and says, "If I get a discount, you can say that." You can record me saying that this is my favorite shop, and I'll have a discount. And then you can go and do it for multiple shops.
Oh,
so you go
brilliant.
and then what is it? The quote is like, "I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite shop on the Citadel," or something.
And it plays every time you like enter or exit the store. And so you walk in and it's your voice saying, I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite shop in the Citadel.
Pretty much that, yeah, but D&D times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you could probably pull that off if you wanted.
Oh yeah.
If you wanted to role play that and you get enough the skill tests and stuff, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I have
Alright, so-
I have an idea for the act I want to do.
Yeah.
It involves all the daggers I have.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
It involves some
Well-
kind of like balancing.
Is there any shop in particular that you would like to target your by popular demand feat?
The hot chocolate one.
The hot chocolate one, none of the other ones. Okay.
We don't care about towels. It's not my side quest.
Is Randall here watching with this as well? It's not my side quest. Okay. Well, approaching the hot chocolate stall, they sell other different types of chocolate as well. It's not just hot chocolate. but they
Cold
have hot
chocolate.
chocolate.
Tepid
Hot-
chocolate.
Medium chocolate.
Hot chocolate is one of the you know it's the thing that brings people
Chocolate,
in.
hot
the smell.
chocolate.
It's the bread.
That's
at
what I
the
said.
front of
Chocolate,
the
hot
Chocolate, hot,
chocolate.
hot. Who likes chocolate, cold chocolate?
Do the hot tamale song.
It doesn't quite fit. Chocolate
and-
has too many syllables.
At the front of the stall.
Here we go.
Mhm.
Tom's the shopkeeper.
Hello!
Hey.
You are very articulate for a goblin.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, if you do, if I apologize. I don't know if that was insensitive. You're the first goblin I've spoken to who can speak common in more than grunts and gibberish.
Oh, thanks.
I apologize if that's
No, I
the
get it.
first
That's
goblin.
fine.
Either way, I don't mean to be insensitive. I apologize. In fact, as an apology, might I interest you in a discount?
Oh, what kind of discount we talking?
I could give you a 10% discount.
10% discount.
Yes, on any one item.
Any one item.
Any one item that you choose.
Any one item.
Any one item, specifically just for you.
Wow.
Just for you.
What if I told you that I want to do the whole Mass Effect thing, but I want to turn it into a D&D thing, but I'm not entirely sure how to do it. What if I told you that in a town nearby, I am very, very well known, and I could spread your beautiful wares around many towns?
How well known are we talking?
Very well known.
Very
This is when
well known.
I'd want to start doing like an act of some kind, because I don't like.
Okay, all right. Well, first off, would you like to roll a persuasion check, or would you rather just burst into your act?
No, burst into the act's fine.
Okay, so you're basically gone. I'm very well known in this town next door that I haven't named. Let me show you. You just start doing backflips and shit. So that's what you want to do your performance.
Yeah.
Okay, so please describe to me what this performance is going to be.
Well, along with doing many things in the circus, she also balanced swords, because that's like a thing where you like balance swords and stuff. It's cool. That, but with all the daggers that she has recently come across.
Yeah, more to scale. That's the same as
not as impressive as swords, but we do what we can.
Relative to your size, that's still very impressive.
Marginally impressive, yeah.
Okay, so where are you balancing these?
I almost want to have them all balancing on top of each other on my head, and me like leaning back, so it's like on my forehead. But I'm like,
is this something that you would have done in the circus before?
Oh yeah.
Okay, give me a performance check with advantage.
Advantage.
And I'm standing back watching the whole thing, just like,
oh, which do you want, 20 or 20?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Holy shit! Okay, well, yes, you definitely fucking succeed in this. Would you like to add any extra flourishes to this? Would you like to just describe anything extra you throw in just to make it even fancier?
Maybe like at the end when she's like coming back to like finish her trick, she like catches them all in some kind of like perfect way that she just grabs the hilt of it. And
I like to imagine. I mean, this is our narrative, so you make it up if you change something that you like. I like to imagine that she grabbed the straps that were the holsters for the daggers that were on the inside of Kawaii's jacket, so that when she throws them, she catches them
in the holsters.
She's in the holsters.
Hell yeah.
But you've got your own vision.
No, that's it, because I didn't realize I had holsters for it now. So,
let's say that this is,
I have holsters.
This is our story. If you want to say that you got the holsters from Kawaii's jacket or whatever, we'll say that you've done that.
Sick.
Right, so you, with your 2020 roll, managed to successfully balance dagger upon dagger upon dagger, and just in an incredibly entertaining fashion, you get the crowds going wild. People are stopping from all around the market square. They've come in. People are hearing the clapping from outside the market square, and they've come in to watch you. You notice that even the elf girl who was outside, and she was begging.
It's there.
Squelch, squelch, squelch.
Even it's like the squelch noise going grapefruit. The girl who was begging from outside has come in to watch, because she's still quite near the entrance, so it's not that much of a big step for her to be fair. She was right there. And everyone's round of applause. Oh my god, this is incredible! It's fucking fantastic! What an amazing performer! And just, oh my goodness, you're amazing! What was your name? You said
Oro.
Oro. Fantastic. Oh gosh, you're amazing at what you do. Fantastic. Gosh, wow.
Thank you.
Thanks. Could I interest you? Complimentary hot chocolate.
Thank you.
Would that interest you? Would you just like?
I would love that.
Look, everybody, look. Oro, my friend, is having some complimentary hot chocolate. Perhaps you would like to taste it after she does. And he goes to this tiny little cup of really, really warm, really thick hot chocolate. This isn't the hot chocolate that we know and love, where it's kind of just like really like a bit like milky and watery, and it's like hot water and chocolate. This is very thick, melted chocolate. So it's like a borderline between just actual melted chocolate and hot chocolate. It is very, very thick and very, very rich. What are you going to do with it?
I want to like take a tiny sip of it and just I mean I take a tiny sip of it. I assume it's good.
Oh, it's incredible.
I
Yeah.
assume it's not terrible. And then I kind of want to like praise it and be like, it's incredible. Wow, I love it. It's my favorite. It's the best thing I've ever tasted. Like really hype it up.
And then the guy starts going, "Hey!" And everyone else around starts going, "Oh, well, that's very impressive. Oh my gosh, yeah, so cool."
And then just leave. And I want to go give it. I want to give it to Natalie, but
So she's just like standing in the back watching, like this whole thing is very impressive to her.
So are you bringing the hot chocolate to Nurali?
yeah, I kind of want to end that like conversation with him. Be like, thank you, you're so
Yes.
kind.
You walk away. Everyone's still kind of like just like, "Oh wow, that's so good."
Yeah.
Just,
And then just immediately give it to
talking
her
amongst
whilst he's like not really paying attention to
yeah.
me anymore.
Yes. Okay. Well, I'm not going to make you roll for that. You managed to kind of sneak it to her. Nurali, you've been past this little cup of hot chocolate.
Hold it for you.
Wait, you cut out. What did you say?
Oh. Oh, do you want me to hold it for you?
No, it's yours. You have it. You wanted it.
You're giving it to me?
Yeah, you have it. You were in poo water today. You deserve it.
Thank you. No one's ever given me a gift before. I take a sip of it.
It is the sweetest, richest thing that you've ever tasted. It is. Tasting it, you immediately realize that this is more of a luxury than anything you've ever had in your entire life. You've not even seen something as luxurious as this. I mean, like the higher ups of the people who raised you, they tended to, occasionally sneak some wine in or something like that. But you've never seen any like cakes or pastries or anything. You've definitely never tasted chocolate. And owning this and tasting this is a bit overwhelming for you.
Yeah, she takes a sip and you see her start to like tear up a little bit, like in the corners of her eyes, and she gets very like that kind of like glassy-eyed look. She's just like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever tasted. Takes another sip. Do you want some more?
No, I'm good.
And like hugging it almost, like just really enjoying this moment. It's like 100% obvious that she's very touched by this.
Bless.
Like, yeah, just
There's
kind of
no
like
hiding
looking
that.
at it and sipping it.
That's excellent. Well, on a really, really lovely note to end our game.
Wait, no, I've got an important thing to do.
Oh, important thing to do.
I need
You
to
buy some
make-
towels.
Well, no, I need to make a history check
Oh, right. You
about.
want to make a history check.
Mhm, mhm.
About what?
About have I heard the name Caspian Kinshire before?
Have you ever heard the name Caspian Kinshire before? Go ahead.
And then also because I've actually got a dice from ages ago though.
Oh, yeah, you were given it, weren't you? Oh, my goodness. Okay. So that's a 23. The surname Kinshire definitely rings a bell. Caspian itself is it's I feel like the name itself isn't what you really usually pay attention to. It's the titles and the surname and Caspian Kinshire, the Liberator or whatever, that kind of thing would be what you would pay attention to mostly. It definitely rings a bell. It's something that you've heard of before, but you can't quite place the tales that you've read about Caspian Kinshire before, which is a bit unlike you. You're a very studious person. You've read a lot of these books, and I mean, it's definitely there somewhere. It feels like maybe it's something that you've known at some point, but it's just slipped away. Perhaps additional digging around in some of your notes or something at some point would be helpful for you.
Cool.
Okay.
Mhm.
So one more point of business before we end our game. very pressed that I didn't cliffhanger it. Didn't have a choice. There was nothing to clink cliffhanger here. If
shop
you are
has no
interested, if you're interested, Docs might want to plug his diary, his journal thing. So what Docs is going to be doing, based that Docs' character Randall is, his career, his upbringing, his livelihood has been recording people's lives, and his quest is to go off and explore and kind of come into contact with these amazing people and kind of write about them. He is likely to continue, I hope, writing a journal based on his character's experiences. I'm assuming kind of updating on every session sort of thing. Do you want to explain it yourself? You probably do a better job than me.
Yeah, so the character will keep like a little journal of the things that he's done, mostly be like his own thoughts and stuff. I'll try and keep it up to date probably some point after each session. So like in each session, hopefully there'll be like a point where it makes sense that he would have had some time to like scribble down some notes.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. I've had a bit of a read of it so far, and it looks fucking awesome. And I really do hope you keep up with it, because I very much love that. If you want to, you got the journal command, amazing, good job, Smalls. If you want to put that in the D&D shit channel as well on Discord, that'd be a good call. So if you guys fancy reading up his journal occasionally, then that's there for you as well. I think Doc said something about wanting to add, like people.
Oh yeah,
amazing,
so
like heroes and shit.
I haven't said that yet, but I want to collect a set of like short stories, effectively, that my character might have read and remember. But I don't promise to faithfully reproduce them, and I promise to bastardize every single one of them.
So when Docs has got that set up, based on the fact that his character is somebody who knows lots about lots of different stories, lots of different tales and stuff, if you would like to contribute to that in any way, I know I've asked you guys to make NPCs that we can add to our village, which we will be still doing. But if you want to add to Randall's annals of cool characters, and you've got some cool D&D characters that you're playing at the moment, or that you've played in the past, or you just come up with something, we'll get that sorted and I'll let you know about it. I think that's a very cool idea.
Oh yeah.
They don't all have to be super serious, but if they're not serious, then they'll probably be more like myth or fairy tale.
That's a good way of doing it, to be fair. I was saying to Docs, like, hopefully you don't get too many people who are like, yes, I ended the world, I saved the world by slaying a Tarrasque, or like, I killed the god of murder and that kind of shit. Like,
yeah, who kills the god of murder and takes their position?
But something along the lines of like, saved X town from Dragon Y and blah blah blah. Whatever. Anyway, down to you and Doc. I hope you guys enjoyed today's session. Didn't overrun by too much, and we're good setup for the next session.
We won't be playing next week.
Yes, we won't be playing next week because I'm in Texas.
Yeah, then I think we're playing the week after that, but we probably should figure that out because, yeah.
I'd like to, but we'll talk about
it.
I'm glad I could sit for the whole session this time. I'm glad you could too, buddy. If there is, a session that you can't watch the entirety from, we will be putting these up on, or Jenny will be putting these up on YouTube on her channel, and she has for the last episode as well. If you missed anything, so that hopefully, if we have people in the future who catch up with our game and they're like, I really wish that I hadn't missed the first 20 episodes of this.
First 100 episodes.
The first 100 episodes, then they will be available for you to watch if that's something you'd like to do.
Or if you enjoyed it so much you just want to enjoy it all over again.
Yeah, if you want to.
True.
But yeah. Right. Does anyone want to raid or anything?
Ooh. Let's have a look.
Whew. You're the coolest nerd.
Who's the coolest nerd?
Okay.
Oh, Sleepiest.
Is it
Probably
me?
post
Jenny's
on
the
YouTube.
coolest nerd.
Hell yeah.
It is you.
Hell yeah. That Legends
Yeah.
of Adventures group are on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked watching them last time, so.
Yeah, they were nice. They were nice.
Excellent.
You could also watch it at 2.5 times the speed and enjoy high-pitched voices. That's true. Now we're talking. All right.
I can only imagine how high Nerly's voice would be at 2.5 times speed. She's already kind of at the top of my speaking range. Oh my god, I love it.
Right. Thanks
Right.
for chilling with us, guys. See you not next week, maybe the week after. Keep updated on our Twitters and stuff, right?
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.